All right, man, it's Thursday. It's time for your favorite evening show on Thursday nights, the BS sessions. No, you're probably thinking Almost Human. Yes, Almost Human does kick ass. Almost Human does kick our ass. Dr. Fuck's got a great show. We could be your second favorite, though. All right, Jerry, what are we doing, man? What's going on, buddy?
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight?
We're doing all right.
Beautiful. Is that the classic Stroh's jersey I see on Andy tonight?
It's just the white. It's got the
Oh, okay.
rainbows on the side, but not on the bottom.
That
So
was
yeah.
that was probably the flashiest uniform of any sport I've
Hmm.
ever seen. Was that '80s Astros uniform?
I remember
Definitely knew
watching
what
Yeah.
team that
J.R.
was.
Richard pitching on that in that uniform.
Yep.
And now we got the City Connect uniforms.
And then we
I
got
don't like
okay.
hers
Well,
that much.
so how you doing, Andy?
I'm doing great. I am happy to be here. I got concerts galore here, so I'm ready to go. I'm really happy to be here. I'm glad to see you four, and I'm excited to be here. I think I've already said that 3 times. That's how excited I am.
How excited are you?
Times three.
He's gonna start
Cool.
singing Ren and Stimpy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy,
Yeah,
happy.
right.
No.
Happy, joy, joy.
Happy.
Tim, how you doing, man?
I am doing fantastic. Still on this side of the earth, so I'm doing great.
Yep. And above ground, man. So can't fucking beat that. Joseph Staub, man. How you doing? Love
Doing
this guy,
great
man.
on a Thursday evening here. Headed to M3 tomorrow, so I don't have to go to work. So I'm enjoying some nice Corona extra here on a Thursday evening.
He's got the
Um,
bag
Nice.
of limes. He got the bag of limes with him too, I
got
think.
got my bag of limes.
All
I'm
right.
ready
He's
for a
ready.
nice evening.
Oh, so you're
All
gonna
right.
see David Lee Roth?
I am.
Fantastic.
Hey, say hi to Brad Dahl for me.
Is he going to be there this year?
Yeah, he's already because I
Oh,
asked him.
awesome,
He said
cool,
he's
Yeah.
on his way to M3 because I asked him if he's
awesome. I
doing
got to go
something.
meet up with him again.
Yeah,
I got to hang out with him for a little bit last year.
I know. I saw the picture. It was so cool. I hope me and him could go to a Dodger game one day because he flies out here all the time for Dodger games. So
Yeah,
that'd
that
be
would be
cool to
awesome.
meet up with him,
Yeah,
man.
he goes to so many Dodger games. I thought he lived there.
He's a Utah man.
He
I
used to
think
live there. He grew up and was born there. He
Yeah,
left LA after graduation.
smart man.
gotcha.
Yeah,
One of our buddies from the Rock Metal Combat podcast page, Ryan T. Russell, is going to be there too at M3. So
Oh wow.
nice.
looking to hang
Okay.
out with him too.
He's coming on the podcast on the 16th. So we
Awesome.
got
Yeah.
Ryan and we got Ross. Jerry got him for the Cheap Trick book. It's going to be an amazing show.
Yep.
We already got our top 25 Cheap Trick, so that's a teaser. That'll be coming up. I'll probably put that out that week too, just to get it out because that's a
Yeah.
special one.
Yeah, that one I'm excited to hear. I was just talking to Ryan recently about that kind of
Uh,
format, and
yeah.
he kind of teased that he was going to be doing a show with one of his favorite bands. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear that.
He did the Rush one for us like about 4 years ago. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That was a fun
All right.
episode. But man, Jerry, what are we doing, man?
We're going to be going down memory lane and talking about our top 11 favorite concerts that we went to. Definitely had some great shows and definitely had some bad ones, but we're going to be talking about the good ones tonight, man. I've seen some good ones. So looking forward to talking about these. But before we do, what do you got for us, Mark? BS.
All right, man. I don't know if you guys really know the band The Alarm. I like them since I saw them on MTV doing a free concert at USC. I just remember hearing 68 guns will never die. 68 guns a battle cry. And it did give me love, give me life, give me strength. A great fucking album Strength if you guys could get it. Great fucking album.
Yeah.
And their album Rain the song. Ooh, I love to feel the rain in this. They had some
Don't
hits,
know it.
man.
Don't know it.
Really good
They did.
shit.
Yeah.
They had some good hits. I bought their last album, which is really cool. I did put up one of their newer tracks 3 years ago in the group to see if you guys knew who they are. But he died. He's been struggling with cancer, and he finally passed at 66. He was still making albums. He was still touring like everybody else is doing now with cancer. Frankie Banali, they just these rock stars, man, go out and they don't want to stop. And so I guess who knows The Alarm?
Oh, I do.
I'll talk about it, man.
Yeah. There were a band that I enjoyed. They kind of rivaled you two there early on.
Yeah.
Um, They were both neck and neck, and then one got more popular, and the other one kind of stayed popular in their homeland of Wales, or and England side. Um, I really liked their music, very powerful lyrics, and really good upbeat music. Unfortunately, they didn't hit it big, but if y'all go to the record stores, y'all should be able to find their vinyls. I'm sorry, their records easily accessible to find. So, check them out. I think y'all will enjoy it. It's really good, upbeat, anthemic music. I
And
like it.
it's a lot of protest songs, but it fucking
Yeah,
it's not hitting you over the head. That's
no, it's
they
not.
were that's why you two neck and neck, and the you two kind of went away from that. They kept going with the protest kind of,
Oh yeah, they kind of really got steep into it, where
yeah, more steep into it.
it kind of grabbed a hold of that was their identity, and I think that's where they kind of lost the commercial appeal.
You're Hugh freaking Hugh Jazz Jerry. You never saw them on MTV? They were Rain in the Summertime, Strength 68 Guns. No?
Maybe it's just been so long, dude. I don't remember half the shit that I've seen back at MTV. So if I saw it, maybe I'll recognize it. I just don't know anything else from them. So
And they were viewed quite a bit on 120 Minutes as
Oh
well.
yeah.
that's probably why I don't
I was
know.
just about to say that too. But other than 120 minutes, because I'm like an alternative goth, whatever. I didn't watch 120 minutes that much, but I saw Alarm on regular rotation
Right, they
during
did.
the day, yeah, on MTV. They even had that concert they played for USC concert that MTV televised. It was pretty cool. I remember that, and that's how I got into them. And I remember go, yeah, 68 Guns. It's pretty fucking cool. Did you ever hear of them, Tim?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And Andy's absolutely right. They rivaled U2 for a while, back when like U2 was doing New Year's Day and
When they were
stuff like
good,
that. Never really got into him. Sorry he died, but what are you
Uh,
gonna do?
well, speaking of 120 minutes, good segue right there, Andy. Matt Pinfield is recovering from his coma and stroke and back on the airwaves soon. And today, he was giving Green Day their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Any thoughts on that, Jerry?
that's cool, man. He's a really cool guy. I always liked him. Always seemed pretty humble, knowledgeable. Seemed like a really great guy. That was sad when I heard what happened to him, but I'm glad he's fucking on the mend, man. So good for him, man.
He
Seriously.
has a show here on KLOS on Sunday nights, and he broke Dirty Honey. He broke all these bands. He plays all the
Oh, he was the one responsible.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck you, Tim. You like a lot of songs by them. You just didn't like a lot of songs by them at the same time. But
You like a lot of songs. Get the
Oh,
Jedi mind trick
I was
there.
about to say quote of the night. You liked a lot of songs with them, but you didn't like a lot of songs by them.
These are not the song. These are
That
not the
didn't even
songs we're
make
listening
sense.
to.
well, Tim, you did like about 4 or 5 songs, but you hated about 6 or 7 songs. So there you go.
Yeah, and in fact, they were just added to Rocklahoma's.
Oh, Dirty Honey.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
they are amazing. I saw them open up for the Black Crows, man.
I've seen
So,
them a couple of times.
so what about you, Andy? Matt Pinfield?
Oh man, I love Matt Pinfield. I remember he would do a lot on when especially when grunge music broke out in the early
Yeah.
90s. He was a MTV DJ, and he was real big in the show Buzzbin. Like a lot of
Oh, I remember
new
that. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of new videos that were coming out at that
Yeah.
time. And he would also have a show on MTV about these bands. It was alternative rock. It's always been his mainstay is the alternative rock scene. So I really liked him a lot because I was really into that music. And I always thought that he was a cool guy, informative, and really true to who he is. So I'm really glad that he's doing well because I've always liked him.
He's into music. I wouldn't pigeonhole him into just the alt scene. He got known for that because he was on 120 Minutes after JJ Jackson, and stuff like that. But if you listen to him on KLOS Sunday nights, he's breaking rock bands. He's breaking these bands. He's going all over the place. He
Yeah.
loves music. This guy is just a huge music fan
Yeah.
like us, and it's just amazing to see that he's well, man. I was worried about the guy because he's one of the few stars that actually answered a question for me on his fucking Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I asked him something about some bands and he gave me some answers. Eddie Trunk did it once, but that's about all I got from Eddie. But he's done it. If I ask Matt, I've been trying to get him on Freeform forever. Hey Matt, you want to come on Freeform? And that doesn't answer me. But that's okay. He's got his own gig. But Tim, did you know Matt Pinfield?
Of course I did. I mean, I remember MTV back when they actually played videos. They tried to cross him over into the metal scene. Like they tried to put him on Headbangers Ball, and
Yeah.
that didn't work at all. And it's not his fault. You know, somebody said, "Oh, he knows music, therefore he must know metal." And it's like, but then again, you know, they tried to put Adam Curry on there because he had nice hair. The
I remember
fuck
Adam
does
Curry
that
on there.
mean, you know? And then they tried putting that poser on
Ricky Rockman.
Ricky Rockman
Backman, who was an idiot.
still
And
is.
like, you just got to find somebody that likes metal. I mean, Jesus, it's not that complicated.
I mean, looking back at the old videos you see on YouTube, Headbangers Ball was at its best when it was guest hosted by actual
Right.
musicians.
I was going to say the same
Yeah,
thing. Yep.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm sorry, by who?
By actual musicians.
Oh, yeah.
When
I
they had,
remember Anthrax hosted one time.
I've seen videos of Rat on there. Kicks did it a couple
Rat.
times.
And I'm sure one of them would have loved a side hustle.
Twisted Sister, or at least
Yeah,
Dee
oh yeah,
Snider
Dee
did.
Snider,
Yeah.
that's how Dee Snider kind of got an itch for the radio business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's like they couldn't figure out you have to like metal in order to be on a metal show. I mean, that's duh.
Matt Pinfield does like metal, to let you guys know.
But then they did away with metal anyway, so didn't matter.
They did away with music not too long after that.
So Joseph,
I mean,
you know,
they were better off just putting Martha Quinn there. I mean, fuck, it was they didn't have very good.
she was like a little cutie, you know. I don't like.
She was like your little
She's not my type of woman, but her face was just so damn pretty.
Nina Blackwood probably could have done it. Maybe she had kind of that, little.
Well, now she sounds like she's getting emphysema.
Exactly. She smoked way too much.
Oh yeah, you listen to her on 80s on 8.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's horrible.
She's got to be pushing 80.
Nina
Joseph.
Blackwood?
I think she's 60, 70. Hey, Joseph, what do you think about Matt?
No clue who that is.
He's the bald guy.
Wow.
I've never Mark. I'm 26.
I know. But he was on VH1 doing shows on VH1.
I didn't watch that.
No,
I didn't watch that either.
Okay. Access TV, he was on Access too.
My family never had that.
We're old.
Yeah, we're old. All right, well,
let me put it to you this way, Mark. Growing up, my family had the most basic of basic cable. That's it.
Okay.
So we didn't watch any of that kind of stuff.
Nina Blackwood is 72.
Told you.
Wow.
It's at 67.
That's older than I thought.
Yeah. Well, then we get to some sports, and I thought this was funny. Some NFL owners ordered to remove Shandor Sanders from their draft boards, which led to his draft slide. They took him off because the owner said, "Take him off. I don't want that guy." Sanders just
Are you calling
torpedoed-
him Shandor?
How do you say his name?
Shandor the Great.
Shitter.
Shitter.
Shitter will work.
Hey, I just don't know how to pronounce names. I'm not calling
Shadur
Shitter
Sanders.
Shit. Whatever is it? Sanders, Deion's son just torpedoed himself, Boomer Esiason said. His attitude off the field at the compound, his dad didn't help him either. He was on the podcast talking, this is my son. If I can get him where I want him to go, I'm going to do that. I mean, he's very high on himself. I think he's very off-putting to many, many coaches and general managers in the league, Esiason said. What do you think about that, Jerry?
As I was talking with Andy last night, teams don't have to deal with him and his fucking father, and that's what they're going to have to deal with. And he could have ended up, I mean, that's the best place for him was Cleveland. I'm telling you. That is the best franchise for him. I'm telling you. You want to go and take a shit in your career, die at a young age, and football-wise, not in real life.
Where quarterbacks go to
fucking-
die, Cleveland.
Go to fucking Cleveland. That is so perfect. I loved it when Cleveland drafted him. But they already drafted drafted 2 quarterbacks.
They have to run ahead of him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's typical fucking Cleveland, man. It really is. You know what? I don't know exactly what it is, but I've heard that he tanked interviews on purpose.
Yeah, I heard
Teams
that
he
too.
didn't want. You know, and I was also talking to Andy last night about these kids are turning into prima donnas early because in college now they get paid and they get to pick what team they play for. If they don't like a team, they can go play for
Well,
another team the
goddamn,
next
they
year.
retired his goddamn number. Like,
Yeah.
you wanna build up some kid's ego, make him think his shit doesn't sting. One, his dad's the head
Exactly.
coach. His
Exactly.
dad's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
And
but
then you retire his number before he even played a single down in professional football.
That's the Sanders family, man. It's all show.
but like John Elway did the same thing when he came out of college. He wasn't going to go to play with this team, so he was going to go play baseball instead. Or
Well, Eli Manning
Eli
wasn't going to
Manning.
go to the Chargers.
Eli Manning
Yeah.
did the same thing.
you know, Manning did it, and I mean, it's been done. It's not like it's a first time thing, but
Yeah, but you got to think those two guys were still taken in the first round.
yeah, oh yeah, they were
High
taken
in
in the first round, and they, and they had great careers. I mean, both of them.
If God knows what this kid must have done.
But
If he dropped that far,
if you're taken by Cleveland in what, the 5th round,
with
like
a
that?
pity pick, basically. I was honestly, after he fell out of the second day, I was honestly thinking, is this kid not going to get drafted? Like, I was legitimately thinking that they were going to just completely just not draft him.
I thought he was too. After he wasn't picked the second day, absolutely, I thought he was. Yeah.
I was kind of hoping he wasn't because he's off-putting.
Oh, I thought it would have been funny. I was laughing the whole time.
And here's the thing with Cleveland. I was talking to Andy again about this last night. If the team starts struggling with the quarterbacks they got now, the fans are going to want Shador to come in and play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that there lies another problem because he's not even going to be ready to play pro ball probably.
Well, if he does come back and play, he might be shitter Sanders.
It might be shitter Sanders, yeah.
I never know, man.
But
all I can think of when I think of him as Sanders is I'll just picture Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Hey, man, they got
all that litany of quarterbacks that came through Cleveland.
Cleveland one good one, Baker Mayfield. They fucking threw him.
They got rid of him.
They got rid of him.
A talent and a $2 head.
He took him to the fucking championship game one year. I mean,
he got hurt. And they shit on him.
And then fucking the Deshaun Watson trade, which Cleveland deserved that shit.
That's karma. That's karma for getting rid of Baker right there, man. That's karma.
Something that I saw online somewhere was
Cleveland
a theory somebody had.
Bernie Kosar, for Christ.
Yeah. A theory that I saw online somewhere, somebody said that a lot of these teams that were high up in the draft were teams with either rookie head coaches or very inexperienced head coaches who didn't want to draft Shador because they were afraid that if they messed up or something happened,
he was going to take
they're
over.
They're out the door. In comes Dion as the head coach.
He's going to take over.
Which, understandable. If I was in that position, I'd be like,
I wouldn't want to have to with Deion Sanders either.
Yeah, seeing the kind of cult of personality.
He weren't that great of a player to start with.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a fucking great. He was a great one of the best. He's one of the best.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's a shitty coach, I can tell you that.
He wouldn't tackle.
Well, he didn't need to. They wouldn't throw to his side.
That's your last line of defense.
They wouldn't throw to his side, dude. And when they did, he took the ball to the house.
What
are you talking about?
A lot of defensive backs didn't tackle back in his day.
No, they didn't.
Over
nobody's Ronnie Lott
any day
or Eric Wright.
Well, that was safety.
Well, I said or Eric Wright. Eric Wright is not a safety. He was a cornerback. But
I'll take Rod Woodson over him any day.
No, Rod Woodson's Torrey Polamalu, man. It's a great guy. Safety again. But Andy, what do you think about that, man?
Dude, like I was telling Jerry last night, dude, there's so much about this guy. I'm sick and tired of it. It is on everywhere we look on Facebook. Every other story is about him. I'm just fed up. When this was a really good draft, this was a really good NFL draft. You saw how different teams are going. They're building their lines. They're doing this. They're doing that, and no one's talking about it. They're talking about this 5th round pick to Cleveland.
Yeah, but Andy, think about it. Has there ever been a time in history where there was somebody who was projected in the last year to go 1st overall and fell to the almost end of the 5th round?
Yeah.
Nope.
Has that ever happened?
No. That's never happened.
and that's
I don't
and
know.
that's
I
why
just-
it's news.
I do
Okay,
know.
That's why
Aaron
it's
Rodgers
news.
fell because of his attitude, but not
Everyone's-
that bad.
but that's the
I
thing.
do know that Tom Brady
Everyone's
was
trying to-
selected in the 6th round.
Yeah, but
Right.
he wasn't.
So,
He
it's
wasn't
not like-
projected. He wasn't a
It's not
projected
like
first round pick.
He's just forget about him. You know.
No, I mean, there's been a lot of great lower round quarterbacks, but
Yeah.
there's never been a case where someone fell that far when you were projected in the last year to go first overall.
That's
But
true.
who's
Down
doing
to
the
the bottom of
projecting?
the 5th round.
Mel Kiper.
Of course,
Yeah, right. No, kind of
that's the thing
wrong
is-
90% of
But
the
that's
time.
but that's why it's all over the news. These people are trying to figure out what the hell
Yeah.
happened.
How does that guy still have a job, Mel Kiper? He never
It
gets
could have
anything
been
right.
so many
How do
different
most of these
things,
sports
though.
reporters have a job? That's the thing.
How do any of them have a job?
Yeah.
I mean, none of them. It's like, how do you know what it's supposed to be the number 1 draft pick in the, you know, you don't know. You think, you hope, you know, but you don't know. It's no.
Well, you can somehow predict the first 10 picks. You can get 8 out of 10 of them right, I think, probably most of the time.
I don't know.
These
There's a
guys
lot of
think.
first round picks that have gone by the wayside pretty quick.
Yep.
I mean, everybody thought Cam Ward was going to be the number 1 pick the whole.
Who was that guy?
you know.
Jamarcus Russell? Ryan Leaf? Just saying, man. But let's get you I don't watch this piece of shit show, but I think this is bullshit what they did to this guy. Metal singer Insight cut from American Idol after covering Alice in Chains, believes performance was doctored. He says Insight was eliminated from the competition singing Alice in Chains' Rooster during the Hollywood round, and he believes the producers doctored his performance and to get him off the show since he didn't fit the classic American Idol mode. They made me cut the song. I was able to only do half a verse, half the pre-chorus, and half the chorus. Insight explained why the other contestants' performance were around 3 minutes. Mine was cut to about 60 to 90 seconds, with about 20 to 30 seconds of it being aired. I think making my Hollywood Week performance look bad is the easiest way for them to get me off the show, seeming like my audition was a gimmick. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know. I haven't watched that show in a while, but they've had rockers win the fucking thing.
Well, Bo
before.
Vice, but this is a metal
was-
guy.
I mean, that one David the other David. There was David Cook. He was a rocker. He won.
He did.
The
that
kid, the kid that
that meatloaf looking guy.
yeah, the guy
won.
he sings with TSO now, Caleb Johnson.
Yeah, and he's
And
really
Daughtry
fucking
was
great
a
voice.
very successful
Didn't
hard
the
rock
kid
guy.
didn't the kid that was singing with Quiet Riot for a while, wasn't he out
Yeah,
of
he
American
he
Idol?
didn't win,
Yeah.
no. But this
Oh,
thing is,
okay.
they cut his song and let the other people do the full songs, and they. Cut it.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. So
I don't know it
have nothing
either,
else to
but I
say.
just-
Those
I read that
those,
story,
those
but
shows
I-
are all shit. So,
I
mean, whatever.
don't think. I mean,
they're all
well,
stupid.
Yeah.
my point is, they had rockers win. It makes no sense to do
Yeah.
that now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't get it.
Tom Petty was saying, "Hey man, if they had American Idol today, I wouldn't be here." I remember him saying that, man.
I mean, it's the easiest way for the industry to produce their own insider talent, basically.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
think about how many of the people that have come out that have actually gotten successful from that.
Carrie
And they're
Underwood,
Very many.
Kelly
Yeah,
Clarkson.
lately, the last, let's say the first 5 seasons, maybe they've had
Yeah.
people.
That's about it.
But
Hey, what
lately,
happened-
who
honestly,
have you known?
To be
What
fair,
happened to
most of the
Ruben
people,
Studdard?
Nothing.
most of the people that have gotten big after American Idol never won it. Adam Lambert
Right.
didn't win.
No.
Chris Daughtry,
Chris Daughtry,
Chris Daughtry.
the guy that
Jordan
was singing with
Sparks. Jordan
the guy that was singing with
Sparks,
Quiet Riot. Like anyone who's had a successful career afterwards, most of them didn't win it.
because
Unless you're Carrie Underwood or
even Clay Aiken. Clay
Yeah,
Aiken
Kelly
had a
Clarkson.
pretty successful career too.
for a little
Clay
bit.
Aiken did.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a minute.
What do you think about that, Andy?
Well, I used to watch American Idol when they had the original judges. After that, I lost interest when they started to bring in all these different ones. But there really hasn't been any one coming out of these, both that one and The Voice, that's worth the crap during the past
Yeah.
decade. It's
Yeah.
more a show about the judges.
Yeah,
And
the
And it's funny because the judges aren't even as good as they were years ago.
I
the
right.
judges, as far as I'm concerned, a number one staple has to be the judges should have more talent than the contestants.
I think more people are coming off of America's Got Talent than American Idol.
The only judge that I saw on those shows that had any kind of talent was Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
The only one right
that-
now is Lionel Richie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Katy Perry has no talent. Oh god.
Yeah,
She's
and
got
neither
nice
does Luke
boobs.
Bryan.
She's got
Yeah.
boobs. That's what she's got.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's.
That is astronaut Katy Perry you're talking about.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
she dipped
My
her toe.
apologies.
She dipped her toes in the water. Now she's a deep sea diver. Did you hear that one?
It's if you go to space, you're considered an astronaut, man.
Yeah.
So
She didn't really go to space. She went to the outer rim.
she was there. It counts.
All right, so let's get to our favorite guy.
I would do it. I would do that if they offered me a chance to do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, if I had fuck you money and I could do whatever I wanted, I would do it.
Yeah,
Like,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go first on this
As long
one.
as there's a TV camera in front of my face.
Before you guys
One more thing, Mark. I'm sorry. I would go down and see the fucking Titanic too, just to say.
oh, I'd love to do that.
Yeah. All right, man.
Go ahead,
So
Mark.
we get to our favorite guy, like Ian calls him, Sammy Horatio Hagar. I'm saying Horatio because he's pissing me off. So I'm gonna make fun of this fucker. Message to Alex Van Halen. Al, you're fine. Just leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. Everything's good, Hagar remarked. I'm making money, by the way. Al, I'm out there selling Van Halen records to keep the name alive. I think Al's angry. I'm out doing it. Michael Anthony and I are doing it. And he can't just explain. He's not a singer. He's not a guitar player. He's not really a band leader. And it seems like he doesn't want to play drums. I can't play drums. He can't go out and write a new record. Alex wasn't a songwriter in a band. He was a drummer. Eddie and I wrote the songs. Daily Roth and Eddie wrote the songs. And we could just go out there and do them. I think it really bothers him that Mike and I are still doing it, and I feel bad. I'll just put myself in his shoes. I'd feel terrible if I couldn't do it anymore. Okay, Sammy. You guys know how much I love Sammy, right?
Yeah.
You know
I was
how
gonna say,
much
Mark, I want to hear your rant first.
you know how much I love Sammy. We know you're fucking in Van Halen. We know you're the fucking singer of Van Halen. And in the
No,
article,
he's not. No, he's not. He hasn't been the singer of Van Halen for 20 freaking
I know, but
years.
he was a singer in Van Halen.
But that's the thing.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you,
we
Joseph.
also know that Alan was pissed off about the cantina that you made money off of. We know this. Why are you rehashing old shit? Why don't you go out there and just fucking do you? We don't need to hear about your Van Halen past. We don't need to hear about you going to. Al didn't even put you in a fucking book. He didn't say one fucking word about you, you motherfucker. Shut the fuck up. I love the fucking new song. Thank you. Good night. Encore. Thank you. Good night. Great fucking song. Even Van Halen haters like it. Sammy haters like it. It's a great
it
song.
wrote it.
You are fucking up this fucking great song by your fucking diarrhea of the fucking mouth again. Shut the fuck up. Go make music. We don't want to hear about your Van Halen past anymore. We want to hear about your future. I'm tired of it, motherfucker. So what do you think about it, guys?
Yep.
You mean to tell me? I mean, they're saying that Alex can't play in rock. Any band in the world would take Alex Van Halen as a drummer. Anybody would play with Alex Van Halen. I don't think he wants to anymore.
No,
the guy lost his
no.
brother, who they played with his whole life. He probably doesn't feel right playing with anybody else since his brother died. So fuck him. Fuck
Not
Sammy
just
Hagar,
that,
dude.
Alex Van Halen is in his 70s, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
He wants to retire. Let him.
Anybody,
Yeah.
any musician would fucking play with Alex Van Halen.
Sammy here saying that, Alex is just jealous because me and Mike are still out. No, he's not.
No, he's
I
not.
guarantee you any money that Alex Van Halen does not give a flying French fried titty fuck. Sammy Hagar and Marc are out there playing. I guarantee you that he doesn't.
I don't think Alex Van Halen cared about Sammy Hagar when Sammy Hagar was in the band.
No.
He could care less.
Hey, like I said, I love Sammy. I'm just tired of him talking about it. Just let it go, man. Let it go. You're making alcohol money. You're making fucking tour money. You wrote a great song right now. I fucking love it. It's amazing. Joe goes off. I think Kenny's better than Jason Bonham with it. That drums.
First
Kenny
of all,
or Azanoff fucking kicks ass on that drum track, man. I
he
love
didn't
it.
write it. He co-wrote it.
Oh, whatever.
In a dream.
Dream. Well, why isn't Eddie Van Halen getting the money from it?
Because Eddie Van Halen isn't alive.
Well, he couldn't
Why
give it to
isn't
the
Why isn't his
Wolf.
estate getting it then?
Yeah, why isn't
I
his
have
estate-
no idea. You'd have to.
I will bet you any amount of money. I am seeing David Lee Roth in 2 days. I bet you any amount of money there will be a story on Blabbermouth next week about Sammy Hagar running his fucking mouth about David Lee Roth and how awful he sounded and all this stuff. And come and see me and Mike. We still sound great. Come and see this. Look at this, my new song and everything. I bet you any amount of money.
I wouldn't be
Write that
Blabbermouth
down.
headline
Right, you're
next
on
week.
BS next week. Write that down and let us know
I
what
wouldn't be
happened.
surprised if Sammy started running his mouth about Roth before M3, and then at M3, Roth will respond.
I doubt it. I don't think he's going to say a
he
damn
won't.
word about it.
Oh, he's already responded to Eddie back.
Well, no, I know that, but I mean, here's my thing. There was a whole thing this week, and this is a different story, but there was a thing that was kind of trickling around that people were thinking David Lee Roth might not be coming because apparently Eddie Trunk, of course, because Eddie Trunk, and we should have known this because Eddie Trunk got spurned. Eddie Trunk doesn't do M3 anymore. Now it's Mark Striegel and a couple of the other guys from Sirius XM that do M3 that host M3. Yeah. Eddie Trunk doesn't host M3 anymore, but apparently on his show earlier this week, Eddie Trunk kept talking about some rumor that David Lee Roth was having medical issues and wasn't going to play M3. But the people at M3 had to put out a thing saying, no, Dave's still going to be here. He's been practicing. He's ready for the show. And everyone was worried because, like, if you go on any of his social media, David Lee Roth has not promoted this show for shit.
No.
He has not, I think he's made one post. I think all it was just sharing the official announcement a couple months ago. He has not posted any videos or.
I don't even know who's back.
No clue. I don't think he's made any posts about, hey, I'm excited to play at M3. It's his first show in over 5 years.
But then again, knowing David Lee Roth, he could come out there with an oompa band for all I know and sing polka hits.
And honestly,
he might do that.
I
That's a
probably
possibility.
enjoy that more than trying to hear him sing Panama this day and age.
Right.
But that's just
I'm
David
not
Lee
looking
Roth.
forward to
he's
it.
going to do what he's going to do, and
Honestly, I'm just excited to be able to say that I saw David Lee Roth.
So what do you think? What do you think, Andy, about Sammy running his mouth again?
You know, I'm a fan of Sammy's and of the Van Halen Sammy era as well, because that's when I started listening to Sammy Hagar. I mean, that's when I started listening to Van Halen was when I was in junior high and high school. Those were my years. I had to go back to the David Lee Roth kind of because I was already in 1984. But man, why doesn't this guy just fucking leave people alone? I mean, why does he have to be?
I'll tell you exactly why. Because it keeps his name in everybody's mind. It's simple.
Because otherwise it wouldn't be.
Now, you can call that being a narcissist. You can call that being, he's an ego-driven son of a bitch. Both of which are true. But that it keeps him fresh in everybody's mind. Now, he could just make tequila and live life perfectly. He's 70 some odd years old, for Christ's sakes. He's got fuck you money,
Yeah, but he can still perform good. And I don't mind him going out there and touring every year. But why does he have to put down Alex Van Halen? I mean, there's no need for that.
Alex
because he's got no other thing to talk about.
Yeah. He doesn't need to talk about anything.
And Alex happened to come out with a book recently, so that's in the news.
That was a good book. I listened to
Honestly, I think if it made Sammy Hagar money, Mike Anthony would be out on the street and be insulting him too.
Oh, he absolutely would.
If it made Sammy Hagar money, I think it would.
Oh, he'd throw Michael Anthony under the bus in a fucking heartbeat.
It's called narcissism.
Michael Anthony's he talk about a fucking whipping boy. Oh my God.
And Michael Anthony never says shit about anybody.
Nope.
No, he doesn't.
He's a good little lap dog and doesn't do anything wrong to anybody.
I think one of our guys, Patrick Breen, says, you know what? I'm just going to read Michael Anthony's interviews from now on.
He seems like a chill dude, honestly.
Patrick Breen, I want to buy us Matt Anthony's hot sauce.
Because he doesn't care.
No.
It's like,
he's someone who is in it for the music.
And
he
I'm
is someone
sure
who is 100% in it
that
for
when
the
Michael Anthony gave away all his rights to Van Halen and all that, I'm sure he got paid.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it
he
wouldn't
wouldn't.
just,
He
oh,
wouldn't have
okay,
if he
I'll do
didn't.
it just to go on the tour.
No.
No. Are you guys ready to go, man? Are you ready to do the list?
All right.
Yeah.
Jerry, take it away, man.
Oh, I guess I got to do this, right?
You always do
That's
the
just your
list.
idea.
Jerry, this is what we do. I do the
Jerry.
BS, you do the list.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get set ready here.
It's just 11 to 1, dude.
Is it really?
There's an
No.
order to these things, Mark. You got to understand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 3 1s in a row.
Yeah.
Jerry knows he does the list. I do the
No, I
BS.
don't.
That's how we split up the show. So it's not Mark dominated. You know, it's a co-hosting thing here.
All right, Andy, go ahead, man. What's your number 11?
Okay, my list is going to not really it's going to consist of memories of people that I went to shows with and things that, because every time we go to concerts, things happen at the show, things happen on the way to the show, things happen after the show, things happen with the people around you, with the strangers that are around you. But I'm going to kind of go in a row of what I saw. So I'm going to start off with my very first concert, which was on February 3rd, 1987, in Corpus Christi, Texas. My uncle and aunt took me to go see Bon Jovi, the Slippery When Wet tour, with Cinderella opening up with Night Songs. It was fantastic. I was so excited. I was in the 5th grade, so it was a wonderful time. I loved it, and that's what started my journey into rock music. Going to that and falling in love with a Bon Jovi, the whole Bon Jovi thing on MTV. So, that's going to be the first concert I'm going to talk about, is me going to go see Bon Jovi, because that's where everything started for me.
Cool. All right, Joe.
All right. So it's funny when I was looking back through this list. I've only really been going to concerts full time since beginning of 2018. So I've only been going to concerts for around 7 years.
Yeah.
I'd seen a couple growing up. My dad took me to see Kiss when I was 11 years old. I saw Trans-Siberian Orchestra not long after that. I went when Bon Jovi was on the Today Show when they were doing the Greatest Hits album. I was at Rockefeller Center when Bon Jovi was on the Today Show. But it had really just been kind of hit or miss concerts here and there. And then 2018, it was my end of my sophomore year of college, was when me and my buddies really started going to concerts. I went to my first M3 that year, started going to a bunch of shows later that year. We would just we'd go to a show, see another show advertised, just buy tickets. And we just kept going to shows and going to shows. Not great financial advice for college students, but it happens.
But
so
fun.
It's a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
so actually it's kind of funny, but just in the 7 years that I've been seeing shows, I've gotten to see over 150 different bands.
Nice.
Now a lot of that comes down to M3 because you see 20 bands a year. And so it's a lot of bands, but still I've gotten to see a ton of different bands across different genres. And so I tried to kind of parse my list around some different stuff that I've seen. So I'm going to start out with number 11 was one of the most recent concerts I saw last November, I believe it was. I saw Stryper on their 40th anniversary tour. And it was just it was a phenomenal show. They did this really cool set where they started at the beginning of their career and they came all the way to the most recent album. They played stuff from every single one of their albums, even the albums that people really don't talk about much. The little one-off reunion album in like 2005 they did a song off of. Like, it was really cool. It was a small little venue in Baltimore. The people there were really into it. The band sounded great, even with Oz Fox unfortunately going through his medical stuff last year. He was sitting on a chair the whole show, but he was still there and he was able to play and he was able to have a great time. And it was just a really great show. They played a ton of great songs, a bunch of songs I'd never gotten to see them play live before. And for a band like that, that's just a really cool experience to be able to see a band that is usually playing at some smaller places, playing not often headlining, but getting to see them on a really cool, just by themselves, just an evening with Stryper. It was just a really, really cool experience. So that's my number 11, was Stryper's 40th anniversary tour from last November.
All right, Tim.
Nice.
All right, my number 11 is a band that nobody has heard of, but they were fantastic. Back in '92, a band called Run 21. I saw them at a place called the Stadium in Burlington, Vermont, which that place seated 150 people. It'd be lucky. I ended up booking for bands for that place later on. But Run 21 featured both Doug Blair and Stet Howland, who went on to Wasp, and then Stet Howland went on to Metal Church and is in Metal Church. And that was just this band was never signed to a record deal ever. And it just blew my mind because they were doing shit that I still haven't seen done by any band. And like Stet Howland was doing a drum solo with beer bottles. And I'm like, they're playing to like 100 people. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I had just started, I just moved up to Burlington and I had just started booking bands and trying to get my management company running. And I was like, if this band isn't signed, I'm going to have no fucking luck. If their manager can't get this band signed, oh my fucking God. But great show. Had a blast.
Cool. All right. Mark, what do you got?
I'm gonna go with I seen Yes, and I saw them on the Big Generated tour, but this is the first time I saw everybody who was in Yes. Like an amazing thing. And that night, Trevor Rabin got John Anderson put an American flag around him, said he just became an American citizen. Congratulations, Trevor.
Oh, that's cool.
It was fucking good. The Union tour at the LA Forum. Most of my shows are at the LA Forum for some reason. I was all the ones that I put down basically. These are great memories, man. This is when I worked at In-N-Out Burger. I was the guy who said, "Let's go to the show. Let's go to the show." I got all these people to go to shows and let's go see this. Let's go see that. Hey, Steve, my manager, let's go see Yes, man. You guys like Yes? And then we took Dano and some other guy named. It was fucking pretty cool, man. I always pushed them to go to shows, and I was like the pusher of concerts back then. I still am. But yes, the Union tour, it was fucking amazing. I loved it. I got to see why Trevor was so much better than Steve on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he is a better guitar player. All right. Well, my pick is the West Palm Beach Auditorium. I had just moved out maybe 4 or 5 months ago from my house. Tesla, Great White, and Badlands, man. Holy shit, that was
Wow.
incredible.
Shit, that's great.
Tesla,
You
and Great White.
saw Badlands?
Tesla and Great White were doing a co-headlining. They switched nights. Great White actually headlined. I actually met Greg Lardy and Audie DeBro. Actually, they're out there signing autographs, which is pretty cool. Man, what a great show that was, dude. I met my friend Russ. Remember just having a great time. Just fucking Badlands nailed it. Jake was awesome. Great White was awesome, and fucking Jeff Keith was. I'm telling you, man, an underrated frontman, dude. I mean, he is an incredible performer and entertainer, man, and he fucking nailed it that night. It was a great fucking show, dude, man. When we did this show, I'm like, I want to put that first. Not that it's necessarily the 11th, but it meant so much for me because I was an adult, man. I was out on my own finally. You know what I mean? And it was one of the first concerts I've seen, and man, it was a great. It was a general admission concert, unfortunately. I hate going to general admission concerts now, but
Oh yeah, we're old.
you get tossed around, fucking whatever. But and I believe it or not, I was 150 pounds at one time, so it was not very pleasant. But I still had a great time though. It was a great fucking show. That's my number 11. All right, number 10, Andy.
Oh, Joe goes before me.
No, Andy,
Right,
you went
or I go
first.
first?
You went
Oh, okay.
first.
Yeah, May 3rd, 1996 in Corpus Christi, Texas at it was Johnnyland. It was named after Johnny Canales, which we mentioned on our Three Shots Down show when we did Selena. Anyway, that day, my mom dropped me off because I was only 17. I didn't have my driver's license yet. Dropped me off and my date. We went to go see. First time I saw Ozzy Osbourne with
Nice.
Sepultura and Typo Negative. It was a great show. I loved it. They played a lot of Black Sabbath songs there. I also found out for the first time that I didn't know that Type of Negative had covered a Neil Young song, which is Cinnamon Girl, and they played it. I was like, wait a minute, that's fun. And I remember my mom picked me up. She goes, "Hey, where's your date?" I said, "I don't know. She took off with somebody else, but Mom, it was a great show." I just enjoyed my show. I don't know where she went. I saw her with some other dude. I didn't care. I was enjoying myself. I wasn't going to let that be a drama. Ozzy Osbourne was right in front of me. I did not care.
Can I
I
say
loved it.
something, Andy, about that?
Yeah, sure.
What a fucking bitch. Okay.
That's all right. Hey man, if that girl don't want to know me, forget her, right?
Fuck
Thank
her.
you, Ben,
Fuck
for those
that.
great
You
words.
got a great wife now. It worked
Oh,
out
yeah.
great for you. So
Yeah.
Molly's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
She likes to
Thank
bust
you.
my balls a lot, and I'm cool with it.
But it was a great show, man. You know, and the night before, Typo Negative was at a nightclub we were at, my friend and I, because we would go to this thing on Thursday nights. It was alternative rock night. It was no cover, nickel shiner beers. We would go in there with $1 and just get plastered every Thursday night. But Typo Negative was there, so you know, we took pictures of them, not with them, because I was too scared to go up there. Besides, they just wanted chicks up there. They didn't want a couple of guys. Hey, how's it going? So it was a really good time, and this isn't the first time I'm going to talk about Ozzy. Ozzy is I've been to some great stuff that Ozzy Osbourne has been a part of. So that was back in 1996. I can't believe it's been so long. But yeah.
Cool. All right, Joe.
All right. So this one is, I actually just shared the picture yesterday, I think. So I guess yesterday was a year since I saw this show. And I've talked about it before on here, so I won't talk about it too much. But last year I got to go see Raven and Vicious Rumors at a little club in Baltimore. There was probably maybe 50 people there at most. And it was just this great experience. Raven just definitely lived up to the hype. They are just one of the coolest bands you'll ever see live. Just so much energy, so much great music coming out from three guys on stage. They were hanging out over by the merch table beforehand, just walking around with a beer. Like they're just normal everyday guys. You hear Ralph talk about them a lot when he'll see either one of them at shows, and they're just kind of hanging out and talking to people. And it was just a really great experience. Vicious Rumors was great. They played most of their debut album. And then Raven headlining was just phenomenal. And like I said, it was just really cool to see them in this little bar with barely maybe 50 people there. And it was really, really cool to think of a band that Metallica started their career by opening up for. Not them opening up for Metallica opening up for them.
Yeah.
I got to see them in front of 50 people at this little bar. So it was just a really cool experience. They were great. Both bands were phenomenal. And it was just a really cool experience.
Cool. All right, Tim.
All right, my number 10 is.
All right, who's got the TV on?
Not me. I think it's Andy.
My wife's watching TV. I'm gonna tell her to turn the TV off. I'll be right back.
Okay. You don't tell your wife to turn the TV off.
No, never mind. I like the
No,
TV.
no, keep it.
You are Mark. You are Mark Allen Taylor. I'll be right back. Let me go get.
We love it.
We
Shit.
love your wife. No, don't do that. We don't want to divorce her.
He may be in California, but he ain't that stupid.
No.
I'll be right back.
I was born here doesn't mean I'm stupid, California.
All right, Tim, go ahead, man.
All right, my number 10. Did you ever have one of them shows where you go to and one band was great and the other one sucked?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the show that I went to where one band was great. One band was great and the other one sucked. So this is on my list for that one band that was great. And this is the only concert I ever walked out of. This was at the Norfolk Scope in 1985. Bachman Turner Overdrive opened for Van Halen.
I've heard the story from Dr. Fuck.
And Bachman Turner Overdrive fucking killed it. They were just, I mean, Randy Bachman should have given lessons to Eddie Van Halen on how to play guitar because he was just, just on. And the whole band was just fucking killer. And then Van Hagar comes out, 2 songs into it. I think they opened up with Get Up. And because they were on their 5150 tour. Get Up, and then they went into something else, and Michael Anthony was on this side of the stage, and Eddie was on this side of the stage, and they were supposed to cross. Well, they hit each other. And they knocked each other down. Now, they're all drunk when they came out on stage, every one of them.
That makes sense.
And Sammy's just laughing his ass off because they hit each other and they fell down. And he falls down because he's laughing so hard. And Alex Van Halen is on the drums. He's in a pair of sunglasses. He doesn't, because, he's got the earphones in, so he's not even watching the band. So he's just playing along, and they're on the floor laughing. And I said, fuck this. I walked out of the Scope, walked across the street to a little bar in downtown Norfolk, and I saw a Dio tribute band, which was fucking killer. So I was like, great night all around. I think I paid $20 for the ticket, something like that. But that's the only concert I ever walked out on, period.
Yeah.
My parents did that with Kiss and Aerosmith in 2003.
Really?
Aerosmith was headlining
that was a
that
disaster.
night.
That was a disaster tour.
Aerosmith was headlining that night and in Hershey, and Kiss came out. It was, my parents said they blew everyone away. People were on their feet. People were having an amazing time. Aerosmith comes out, does a couple really good songs. I think they opened up with Back in the Saddle, went through a couple good songs, and then they played like 5 straight songs off of Hunkin' on Bobo.
Ooh, I do like that.
It was like 3 blues covers, Pink and Jaded.
I don't mind Jaded, but
I like Jaded.
Oh,
but yeah. My parents said half the stadium left.
Oh, I believe it.
And the sad part is
when you got the catalog that Aerosmith had.
Yeah. And the sad part is if you look at that set list, the show ended good. They pulled some good stuff out at the end, but nobody stayed to see it. Mm-hmm. My parents said they have never seen bleachers empty out that fast in their life.
I probably would have left. I heard that tour was a disaster. Anyway.
That would have been me if I drove to the Violent Femmes. That was a horrible choice.
Yeah. No, apparently
Kate Doray's like looking at me right now.
Any of the nights that Aerosmith headlined on that tour were a disaster.
Yeah.
All right. Mark.
Let's see. 1988 Tunnel of Love tour. The only time I saw Bruce Springsteen. Fucking over 3-hour show. Amazing. We had front row backstage and the stage was open. So he came back there and talked to us like the whole show. He made us, I was right behind Max Weinberg watching him drum. What an amazing underrated drummer Max is. Just to watch that guy play. I'm a fucking huge drummer fan. That's my favorite instrument to watch somebody play. And it's just amazing. Bruce came back there talking to us, getting us into the show. And then he says, let's turn on the house lights. He turns on the house lights and he starts jamming for another hour. Fucking amazing show. I've never seen somebody like grab a crowd. Well, somebody I will talk about that grabs a crowd later. But he was one of the best I've ever seen. I haven't seen him since 88. And I'm fucking missed so much. I should have seen him after that more. But great fucking tour.
Him. I met Springsteen. I was working in our local airport, and he flew in he was a best man at somebody's wedding in Woodstock, Vermont, which is rich town. And he flew in on a private jet, and I was talking to him, and I knew who he was, but I didn't, he has family with him and all that, so I didn't, oh my God, but he drove off and I go in back inside and everybody's like, what's Bruce Springsteen like? Like
I had my mom bought me the tour book from that, and I sold it for $100 like 5 years ago. So I made money. I didn't pay for it. My
Yeah.
mom did. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah, some of those old tour books, man, people pay a lot of money for them
I
nowadays.
know. I
Man.
bet it's worth more than I sold it now.
Probably, yeah.
I got Pat Benatar seven the hard way, but it's kind of tore up, so nobody will buy that one.
I didn't put Bruce on my list, but I did see him about 10 years ago. It was an electrifying performance. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my
I
next
have
one
a Bruce
is
on my list, but it's not Springsteen.
all right. My pick is the Monsters of Rock tour, man. 1988, man.
What?
Miami, South Florida, man. Went there. I was dating Dina. Marc knows Dina. We went there with a few friends. Fucking Kingdom Come opened the show. They were awesome. I didn't know much about them. I heard that one song, "Get It On," which was people like they sound like Led Zeppelin, but that's the only song that sounds like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah,
That debut
true.
album,
That's a good album.
it really
Yeah, it
is.
is.
We should review that album one day.
And then
I got it on record.
And then making their first appearance that far south in South Florida was Metallica next. Holy shit, dude. That was such a fucking rush seeing Metallica finally, man. It was before Injustice for All because they actually played what song did they play? Harvester of Sorrow, thank you. And that was as bad as fuck, dude. And then came Dawkins. Holy shit, what a disaster, man.
Oh God, I saw them open up for Aerosmith on Permanent Vacation. They were horrible.
Yeah, it was just George Lynch's guitar sounded like shit. At the end, he just threw his guitar in a mixed drum set.
Were they fighting? Him and Don fought on stage when I saw them.
They weren't fighting, but you could tell there was definitely friction.
Well,
man.
George was drowning Don out, and Don was getting pissed off.
Yeah.
That's before they had the in-ear monitors, by the way.
George left the stage doing how the band does their little bow at the end. George left. He was so pissed off. It was just Mick, Jeff, and fucking Don. I mean, they were class all the way through. They didn't seem to be bothered about it. But George, man, had to stick up his ass that night. And then after that with the Scorpions, fucking they just blew it out of the sky, man. They were fucking amazing live. First time seeing them, actually. And then it was my first time seeing Eddie Van Halen, the headliners. Eddie was hot. Eddie was awesome, but I didn't really care for OU812 very much or songs off that, so didn't really mean much as far as the songs. But it was cool to see Eddie for the first time, so I love that. And it was a great time, man. I mean, it was hotter than fuck. I mean, you had the people with the fucking hoses. You know, I actually hated that because I got my cigarettes all wet and shit. Pissed me off, actually.
Well, that's good.
But,
you shouldn't be smoking anyways.
But man, and it didn't really sell well. I mean,
that's what I think. That was the show that Ralph was at, right? The same one.
I went to that one. Yep.
Because he said he was able to go back up and down from the bleachers up and down and stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite thing he said about that show, he said that was the night he witnessed Metallica and Dawkins' career.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just again being a young kid seeing these bands. They're larger than life back then, man, and it was just so fucking cool seeing. I mean, like I said, I can't say enough about Kingdom Come, man. They really fucking started the night off good, man. So shout out to Kingdom Come, man. If you ever get a chance to listen to their music, go ahead. They're good.
Hey, the first two albums kick ass.
I got to see them probably four or so years ago at M3. I can't remember what year they played, but it was everybody except for the singer, I think.
Yeah.
Because it was when James Kotak was still around. And so it was the entire lineup was original except the singer. I got to look here real quick and see what they even played, but they played earlier in the day, so they didn't play a lot. But I'm sure they played mostly stuff off that first album.
Yeah.
Okay, it was 2019. So it was the second year I saw M3. Oh, it was actually pretty split. What was the second album? Was that In Your Face?
Yes.
So they played 4 songs off the debut and 3 songs off that.
Cool. But yeah, man, it was a really fun time, man. So Monsters of Rock is my number 10. So let's get to number 9, Andy.
Yeah, my number 9. I feel so bad now. This was 2002. A lot of my shows were done at the Woodlands Pavilion here in Houston, Texas. We went to go see Dio and Scorpions.
Oh, you got
Great show. But there was a band that came out in the middle. And I told my cousin, I go, I don't know why this band is here. I only like one song. So after Dio, which put on a great show, I sat there for the second band. I sat like a bitch. I didn't care. She was like, "Hey man, this band's kicking ass." I said, "I don't like them," so I just sat there
Who was
like
it?
this.
I mean,
I will review it.
who does Dio come on before? A
So,
band you don't even know of. That's weird.
so the Scorpions came out to close it. I was all up in arms. Do you know who that second band was that I hated back then? They are now my top 10 bands of all time. Deep Purple.
nice.
Ah,
I sat there like this during Deep Purple because I said
well, that makes
the
sense
only
now.
song they have is
They suck.
Smoke on the Wall. Well, as we all know, I'm a big Deep Purple fan. I've already seen them twice, and I want to go see them again every time they come. I have almost their whole discography. I've got I don't know how much bootlegs by them, but man, they were right there in front of me, and I didn't give a crap.
They
Man,
probably remember that. Remember that guy back in when he was just sitting here like this in the Astros jersey?
During Deep
Remember that
Purple,
fucking guy?
that fucking guy. But but man, I wish I would have enjoyed it because because when I look at the set list, they're amazing songs, and I didn't want to even pay attention at all. I was being so stubborn. Well, that showed me never to do that at a show again. That
Yeah,
showed me
I could
that I
see
now
I could see Deep Purple following Dio.
That I could see.
Especially
Yeah.
in 2002, yeah.
yeah.
That I could see.
So it was a show that taught me a lesson to pay
Well,
attention to everything that's in front of me.
I just thought it was some no-name band or something that was coming on
No, it
after
was
Dio
Deep
when he talked
Purple,
about
man.
that.
It was Deep
I was like, who the
Purple.
fuck is this
What was
no-name
it,
band coming on?
Tangier?
Hey, Tangier's first album was good.
Oh, I love Tangier.
I am I've dedicated 3 whole shows on Black Spitter to Deep Purple. That's
All
how
right,
much
you
I
see-
love
you-
this band.
Andy's still doing his penance for being a bitch at
I
that
was
show.
gonna say you serve your penance.
Yeah.
Seven Hail Marys and drink a beer.
All right.
So
All right.
I've seen them a couple times after that now, of course. But man, imagine seeing them. If I would have been paying attention to see Dio, then Purple, then Scorps, dude, that's a great night.
Yeah.
It's a great
That's a
night.
fucking incredible night.
But nope, not me. Not me.
All right, Joe, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, so this next one, and again, these for me, these aren't really in any particular order except till I get to the top few. This was just one of the coolest experiences of my life. This is a guy I need to see again. This is one of the first shows I ever saw back in 2018 when I was really starting to go to shows. Was I saw A Night with Alice Cooper.
Oh, nice.
Just
This
a
new song,
phenomenal. Oh,
fantastic.
that's so good. As soon as I heard the song, I pre-ordered the CD.
I
Oh,
thought
I
it was
was
like
on it.
I thought it was like wow, like Killers or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Travie
Yeah.
Patty don't like it. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Well,
And it kind of takes you back in time.
Yeah, it does.
it does.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm
It
excited.
really
for
is.
this. But
And it's
with
also
Alice,
produced by Bob Ezrin.
yeah.
Bob Evans.
Well,
Bob
his
Evans
la-
has been
his
producing
last
everything.
his last few albums have been produced by Bob
His
Ezrin.
last
They weren't that
10 have
good,
been
so-
produced by Bob Ezrin.
No, just the last
Oh, yeah,
3 or
but I'm
4.
just saying,
No,
you
he's
know,
been
with the
doing him.
original
He's been
band
doing
and
him
all
for
that.
years, dude.
Yeah, but
Oh, well,
he's
I'm
only.
just saying with the original band and Bob.
I think it's
and,
only
you
been
know,
like the last
those times.
4, Mark.
I think more than that.
He came back with "Welcome to My Nightmare,"
Okay.
and that's only been 4 albums ago. Even though it's been a long time, it's been like 15 years
Yeah.
since that album came out. It's only
Well, that's
4
probably
albums
why
ago.
I'm thinking it's.
Yeah, because he didn't,
Logic.
because he had a really big gap from that to Paranormal. But anyway, so I saw him. It was the year after Paranormal came out. He played a couple songs off that, but Alice Cooper's one of those guys where you can go and see him every single year, and the set list will never be the same. He'll throw awesome deep cuts in there. Like for example, I can just go through this set list here. He opened up with "Brutal Planet," which was amazing. I love that song so much.
Yeah.
He went right into "No More Mr. Nice Guy," "Under My Wheels," "Billion Dollar Babies." Great classic stuff after that. Then pulled out a really epic deep cut that I definitely
had no clue how awesome of a deep cut it was at the time. But now I do, now that I'm digging back into his catalog. He played Grim Facts off of Flush the Fashion, which is just, you're pulling stuff from that. That's just, he doesn't really do that much. He did Lost in America, which is the one song from the 90s he really still plays. Then he did Sirius from the Inside, which is a great track from that album. He did Fallen in Love off Paranormal. He did Woman of Mass Destruction, which is one of my favorite songs from his 2000s stuff. And then he did Poison, Halo of Flies, Feed My Frankenstein. So he's kind of go back through the classics and all that stuff. I was so happy he did Only Women Bleed. That's one of my favorite Alice Cooper songs. I got to see him do that with his wife coming out in the nurse outfit and doing the dance around him. I mean, it was an amazing show. He didn't have any opening acts. It was a night with Alice Cooper, so he did a longer set. He did like 20 couple songs. So it was a really great show. His band is just so killer. Nita Strauss is an amazing guitar player.
I saw him without Nita. I saw him with Kane. What's that guy?
Okay, when Kane Roberts came back.
Kane Roberts, yeah. But hopefully I got tickets for Judas Priest in October with Alice Cooper. Hopefully I get to see Nita.
She should be there. I mean, she hasn't announced it. She's usually good with announcing ahead of time.
I'm so happy to see COC, man. I'm like,
that's another one I've never gotten to see. Yeah. But yeah, no, Alice Cooper. If you've never seen Alice Cooper, he to this day still puts on an amazing show. So that's one I highly recommend going out and seeing still.
That's to be
all those Alice Cooper nerds are going, "Oh, you saw Kane Roberts?" I go, "Yeah, but I wanted to see Nita."
Yeah, but I mean,
a little more pleasant to look at.
What was cool
exactly.
What was cool when Kane Roberts came back, they pulled out some more stuff from that era. They pulled out a couple songs from Constrictor. They pulled out. Well, actually, it was before that they brought Roses on White Lace back, because that was Nita's idea to bring Roses on White Lace back. It's one of her favorite Alice Cooper songs, she said. Which I wish I would have gotten to see that song. That's one of my favorites.
And that was the track of the week you picked.
Yeah, it was Roses on White Lace. Yep. But yeah, no, Alice Cooper, just a phenomenal show. Great band. Still does all the theatrics, the guillotine, and everything.
Baby dude breaking through.
The big Frankenstein coming out during Feed My Frankenstein. Yeah, it's just it's an amazing show.
His wife is pretty hot too.
Yeah, she's still, and his daughter's out with him too.
Cutting off his head and shit. That's fucking pretty cool. I put up those videos on the Freeform Rock Podcast YouTube. I got a lot of Alice Cooper up there. Go check it out from that show I saw. So
I wish Alice would write a book.
Well, the problem is he can't remember half of it.
The amount of shit he's been through and the people he knows. Are you kidding me? Like Laurel Canyon alone.
You'd almost need somebody else to write it with him, because I mean, the stuff that I want to know most about is the stuff that he doesn't remember.
Yeah, Dick Wagner's gone, and he probably knows all that shit.
Bob Ezra was just as high as Alice Cooper was.
Yeah,
so.
Alice Cooper, so predictable, he'd probably write a golf book first.
You would need Dick Wagner.
Did he really?
For the Black Odd Years.
I think he did.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. So he did. Okay, well then I was right then.
Hey, rest in peace, Dick Wagner. You're bitching. Yeah. He did the solo to Train Kept Rolling.
He did.
Aerosmith.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Hopefully, I've seen him twice. Alice Cooper. Hopefully, I'll be able to see him 2 times this year. Nice. That's what I'm hoping for.
All right, Tim, what do you got?
All right, my number 9, going from Alice. Saw this guy before he even released his first album, and he played the whole thing, and it was like a festival thing. So it was, get him on, get him off. But Pier 12, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Bruce Hornsby.
Nice. I like.
He's from Virginia Beach. Well, he's from next town over. I forget the name at the moment, but that's his area. And he came on. He played his whole first album before it was even released.
Oh wow! Great album.
It was fantastic. It was just nice little mellow evening. There was, it wasn't hardy. It was just a nice little mellow. I think it was a Sunday afternoon, as a matter of fact. Good show.
All right, Mark.
Number 9. I did have the Van Halen 2004 reunion tour. I saw at the Honda Center, but I axed that off because Sammy pissed me off. Because I like this show better. In Excess, June 3rd, 1988, the Kick Tour at the LA Forum. And dude, this set list like a Kick, Guns in the Sky, Mystify, Original Sin, Shine Like It Does, Wildlife, Listen Like These, Never Tell Us Apart, New Sensation, like in This Time, Burn For You, The One Thing, What You Need. They ended it with What You Need. And the encore was Need You Tonight, Meditate, Devil Inside. And they came back for a second encore. And they did Don't Change, which is one of my favorite songs with them. And they ended it with from the Lost Boys soundtrack, Good Times. Like, dude, this band played 23 songs back then. One of the greatest frontmen who rivals Jim Morrison for me, fucking Michael Hutchins. Fucking what a great fucking show. If you ever seen Live Baby Live with them in the fucking England at the fucking huge fucking stadium, this band was amazing live. I've never seen such a great frontman in my life as Michael. He had an audience just eating out of their hands. And I remember we paid $20 to a fucking forum guy to get us down on the floor. One of the security guards, hey, give me $20. I'll let you guys on the floor. Right on. We're there. Love that fucking show, man.
Awesome.
Do they still tour? Do they even have a singer anymore?
No, dude, the guitar player, dude, which is what he's a great guitar player. He hurt his hand on a boat when he was trying to start an engine and it wrecked his hand. He can't play guitar anymore.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, they're kind of done, dude. And it sucks because I loved the guitar player played some tasty riffs, you know.
Oh, yeah.
All right. My number 9 is Iron Maiden on the Seventh Son of the Seventh Son tour. Holy shit, that was a great show. It was at the Hollywood Sportatorium. I'm sure you heard Ralph talk about that.
Oh, Ralph talks about it all the time.
I love this. It's a legendary place. It's a tin can. It's a fucking mud ball
he
for
should
a
do a
parking
whole
lot.
fucking episode
Rusty.
on the Sportatorium.
I hope you can invite me because I know all about it. That'd be awesome to talk about that. But Ace Frehley, Frehley's Comet, was supposed to open for them. And everybody was expecting to see Ace. Because back then, you didn't have what we had now as far as hearing things, you know what I mean? For some reason, it was a last-minute pullout. He pulled out for some reason.
Hey, you pulled out, all right.
And then they had some local band. I felt so bad for those guys because they got booed off. They didn't really sound bad. They just got booed off the fucking stage. It was sad, actually. At the very end, the guitarist played like a cool guitar solo. I got kind of an applause.
What band was it?
I can't think of their name, dude. They were a local band.
What year?
80, 89?
I'll find it. Just keep going.
Yeah, look at the Hollywood Sportatorium and the Seventh Son tour. Look at that. It should be there.
That would be 88.
88, 89. I can't remember, dude. Something like that. I want Dina. You can ask her. She was there with me. Great show. I thought it was a very good set list, except for some of the crap they played off Seventh Son. But I actually remember Adrian Smith's solo, man. He fucking played an amazing fucking guitar. So one of the best I've ever seen him play. And that's when I really fell in love with Adrian as a guitar player. I thought the band sounded great. The effects were awesome. And again, you're at that phase in your life where these guys are like legends and giants to you, and be able to see them live and in concert and sound amazing as they did. Fucking A, dude. I loved it, enjoyed it. I'd go see that tour again if they ever I think they did a kind of like a reversion of Seven Southern tour, I guess,
They
or
did.
something like that. Yeah.
Dude,
it
says that Vinnie Vincent Invasion, David Lee Roth, Anthrax, and Megadeth.
It says
one of the possible opening
the
bands.
Big Bang.
That sounds that exactly fucking sounds like them. That's it.
Big
man.
Bang? Okay.
That is it.
It says local band next to it.
Yes.
Okay.
That is it. Thank you, Joseph. Because I completely forgot about those guys. And they got booed off the stage. I felt so bad for them.
Well, there actually is a band, or was a band called the Local Band.
But
had Alexi Lehel on it.
Yeah, okay. Jerry, you say this. It's hilarious. I'm on this Iron Maiden website where it says they have notes next to it. It says the opening band was a last-minute replacement for Ace Frehley's Comet and got booed off halfway through their gig. They didn't finish their set.
I felt so bad for them, dude, because they were a last-minute replacement, man. I mean, people wanted to see Ace though, dude, because he was hot then. I think he just released a Live Plus 5, I think, or Live Plus. What was it? Live Plus 3? Or I can't remember what it was.
Damn, Jerry, you were one day off. The next night, you know who they got to replace him?
Who?
Sabotage.
Oh,
Ooh.
You were one night off.
You lucked out on that one.
Yeah. But anyway, Maiden saved the night, dude. They were incredible that night. It was then and it was a cool and sad night at the same time. I felt bad for those dudes, man. I really did. I mean, it was heartbreaking actually, especially now that I look back on it, because I can imagine myself if I was up there, you know, trying to fucking get some notoriety or something, and totally stinking it up. And they sounded good. I mean, they weren't like sloppy. They know how to play their instrument. I guess
Well,
wrong crowd maybe.
Hey,
I don't know.
just to let you know, Prince got booed off the Rolling Stones tour. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Breeze
Alice in
right got
Chains-
booed off
Alice
on a Kiss tour.
Yeah, Alice in
Oh,
Chains
wow.
got booed off of the Clash of the Titans tour.
A lot of good bands have gotten booed off
Yeah.
stage, man.
Well, they obviously weren't that bad because I never heard of them after that.
yeah,
night, so.
they
The Big Bang, holy shit!
they ain't
I
no
think
Prince.
that's it. Absolutely, that's it. Holy fuck, man! Wow. Thank you, Joseph.
Hey,
Yeah, I'll remember that.
The Vegas hockey team just advanced.
Did they? Oh,
Yep.
fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
That being said, let's move on to number 8, Andy.
I still work at Kroger's and in the pharmacy, but back in 2000, they had Ticketmaster right there inside the store because they had they had like a video rental place there. They also sold Ticketmaster. And I opened up the pharmacy that day, and my boss, the pharmacist, goes, "If you want to go stand in line with tickets, go ahead." I said, "Cool, man." So I got in line, and I bought tickets to go see this band in a little nightclub just outside of downtown Houston. I got to go see Weezer in
Nice.
in a nightclub that held like 300 people. And Mark, get this, it was for the Pinkerton tour.
Oh, I like that album.
And you know how much I love that album. So
I love that album too, man.
Yeah, so they only played Pinkerton and the Blue album
Ooh,
on that show.
nice.
It was
We need to do a review of Pinkerton, man.
You see, y'all did one already.
We did the Blue album.
No, y'all
Yeah.
did Pinkerton.
We never did Pinkerton.
No?
No,
I thought I
I
heard
know.
it.
I was on for the Blue album.
he was on for the Blue album. Joseph
Okay,
didn't
I
like
would
it.
love to do Pinkerton.
Oh, I hate that. I hate.
Oh yeah, you hated that album. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great show. My uncle, my cousin and I absolutely loved it. And I think Hippo Campus opened up, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it was a great show because y'all know how big of a Weezer fan I am.
Yeah.
I've seen them like 4 more times after that, but this was just raw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were playing an album that's in my top 10 of all time. So that was really cool. So Weezer from 2000. It was 9/11 of 2000. A year later, everything will change. But yeah, it was a great night.
All right, Joe.
See, no shame in hating an album.
Nope. Oh, I have no shame in hating that album.
No, I like people hating albums on Freeform. It's funny. Just listen to the Diamond Star Halos album. Joseph didn't listen to one track on that.
Why?
Not one.
Why?
That was an amazing review. I loved it.
I didn't listen to one goddamn track on that album. I literally, if you have not heard that review,
I actually listened to it.
I spent time, instead of reviewing tracks, I just wrote down things that I hate about modern Def Leppard.
Yeah, that was amazing. I loved it.
I mean, every song sucked except for the last song. The
I
last
told
song was
Joseph,
actually
you don't
really
have to
good.
listen to it. You don't
And
have
I
to
said
listen.
good because I wasn't planning on it.
What's the last song on the album that was they're written mostly by Savage?
I don't
Yeah, it was
remember.
really
I didn't
good.
listen to it, Jerry.
I try to. I'll listen.
I
To
don't
it.
know. I just reviewed it. I didn't listen to it.
Oh no, Tim, you overestimate me. I didn't review it either. I was on the episode, and I just talked about things I'd rather be doing than listening
Yeah.
to Def Leppard.
There was only one album I didn't review because we did it so quickly. That was Poison's. Was it Look What the Cat Dragged In? We did, Mark, all of a
Look
sudden,
What the
like
Cat Dragged In,
on a
yeah.
whim. That's the
Yeah.
only one I knew most of the songs on it, but that's the only time I never really
Cheerleader rock.
did homework on it because I knew all the songs on it, most of them, and they all sucked. So it was no big. it was no big challenge for me to learn anything new about it. They still suck, by the way.
That's a good album. I like that album.
I love that album.
I'm
Anybody need a vinyl?
probably gonna be seeing Bret Michaels again next month,
Sorry.
but not
He's
because
good.
I want to see Bret.
Oh no, he's very good actually.
Very good
No,
live.
Yeah,
but
he is.
it's not because I want to see Bret Michaels. It's because Night Ranger and Quiet Riot are opening up for him,
Oh,
and
there
I
you
want
go.
to see them.
Oh,
But
All right.
so my next concert
Yeah.
is one that I was really honored to be able to see, and I know Andy got to see the same tour a couple months after I did, and I'm a little jealous of him because he got to see some songs off of this guy's newest album that I didn't get to see when I saw the show, and that is Steve Hackett from Genesis a couple years ago, playing the entirety of Genesis's Foxtrot album, which was just an absolute awesome show. He opened up the first set. He played all songs from his solo albums, some really good stuff from Voyage of the Acolyte on through some of his later albums. And then the second set started out opening up with that Mellotron intro to Watcher of the Sky all the way through to Supper's Ready. And it was just an awesome experience. And I said this exactly before, but you know you're amongst a crowd of music fans when everyone's singing along with Supper's Ready. That's not a song people sing along with, but they were
Great
that
song,
night.
though.
yeah.
They were that night. So it was an amazing experience. And then to go from Supper's Ready, my second favorite Genesis song, right into Firth of Fifth, my favorite Genesis song, and then closing it out with Los Endos. Just an amazing show. Steve Hackett always has just a phenomenal band around him. He has just
Yeah, he did.
over the years has collected some of the most amazing musicians in the prog rock world around him. His vocalist Nad Sylvan is really talented. He's actually releasing a new solo album that has some really good stuff off of it. His drummer's amazing. His bass player has multi-instrumentalists, kind of like another person I'm going to be talking about here in a little bit on my countdown, but just has some guys that just play multiple different instruments, pulling out flutes and saxophones and keyboards and little drums and stuff. And it's just a really, really great show. He's probably coming around in a couple months again, doing stuff from The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. So if he's coming near you, I highly recommend seeing Steve Hackett. If you're a fan of Genesis, if you're a fan of progressive rock, one of the best shows you'll see.
Cool. Oh, so you done?
Yeah, what you were going to say something, Jerry?
No, I was gonna say. I mean, what the fuck was I gonna ask you?
King's
Totally
True
forgot.
First Blood, 1-0.
I can't remember what. If it comes back to me, I'll
Okay.
ask you in a second. Just something about Steve Hackett. Actually, I can't remember what it was. Anyway,
Hey, check out the review of The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway on Freeform Rock Podcast. by the way.
That was a really good review.
Yeah, we had
One of the greatest moments of my life was getting Andy into that album.
Yeah,
I am that is one of the proudest moments of my life was Andy being able to rediscover that album.
I was gonna
There
ask
it
you.
is.
Has he done? Did he still do albums?
Oh yeah,
Steve Hackett.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Steve Hackett, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
just
he actually
released one
in
that
the 6 months between when I saw him and when Andy saw him, he released a new album and played some of the songs when Andy saw
Oh
him.
wow.
But I didn't get to see him, so I was a little
Yeah.
upset. I was jealous of Andy because he got to see some of the new songs that I didn't get to see. But no, he's actually on a run of really good albums.
Wow.
He puts stuff out through Inside Out Music, same Dream Theater. A lot of those bands have on the same record label. But he over the last probably 10 or so years between studio albums, live albums, and acoustic albums, he's probably put out 20 albums.
damn, I can't afford all that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
and
Wow.
his last album was in my top 10 of 2024.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. It was a phenomenal album. Phenomenal. The Circus
So
of the
good.
Night Whale, it's called. Really
Yeah.
good album.
The album
He's-
cover was fantastic too. It's kind of like a
Oh, yeah.
picture.
Yeah, it's really cool looking. But over the his studio albums over the last 10 or so years have all been phenomenal. And he plays a lot of the stuff live. He's on a really good run. But the cool thing is every single tour that he does, he puts a live album out. So every year when he changes up his set list, he'll put a new live album out. I have every single one of them on CD.
The Iron Maiden effect.
Yeah, kind of, but at least these are worth it. But when he started doing the Genesis Revisited shows 10 or so years ago, 2013 was when he started. He put 2 albums out from 2 shows of that tour, and then he did a tour that was mainly focused on his solo stuff. He put one out for that, Then every tour since, he's basically been focused on a different Genesis album. So he did a show focused on Wind and Wuthering. He did a show focused on where he played the entirety of Selling England by the Pound. He did one where he did the whole Seconds Out live album, like in order from the way it was performed on the live album.
Yeah.
And then most recent tours he's done, the one that Andy and I saw, he did all of Foxtrot. And this tour he's doing right now is about half of The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. And every year he records a concert, puts it out on DVD and CD. And they're always really, really good. I'm actually looking forward to it. It should be coming out within the next couple months. The one he recorded last fall over in England doing The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway song should be coming out here in the next few months.
Cool. Good stuff there, man. Tim, what do you got? Excuse me.
All right, my number 8. 1983. I was a junior in high school. I just gotten my driver's license. And my friend Jen says, I got tickets to see these bands, and you're driving. So I had to drive down through Boston to Foxborough, Massachusetts. And I think I'd had my license for a total of 2 days. With her father as co-pilot. Yeah, that was fun. Anyways, 1983, Foxborough Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts, which is where the Patriots play. And now it's Gillette. Outdoor gig, hot. Great show. Martha Quinn was the MC for this show.
Oh, wow.
A Flock of Seagulls opened up for the Fix, who opened up for the Police
Nice.
on their
Nice.
Synchronicity tour.
Nice.
I think it was the second to the last show. I think they did one in New York and called it a career, which we didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
But it was a fantastic show, and I got to admit, I mean, the Police were fucking amazing.
Yeah.
They were on fire then.
Yeah, they were. The Fix were good, but they're kind of like watching an Ozzy show.
I love the Fix though, man.
Because Ozzy doesn't move very much, and they didn't move very much. But
Well, Cy Kernan just sings at the mic, you know.
But A Flock of Seagulls, I gotta tell you, man, for a band that I never really got into, they put on a hell of a show that night.
Oh, Flock of Seagulls is really good.
They were all over the place.
Awesome hairstyle the lead singer had.
Well, now he's bald.
Figure, of course, they all are.
All the
those weird
hairspray,
hairstyles.
man, kills your hair follicles, man.
And the guitarist, I always thought the guitarist was female, but it's not, it's male.
I just know that one. I think I know 2 songs from them actually. I ran and they had a,
The album with I
another hit.
ran
Yeah,
on it.
Space Age Love Song.
Yeah.
I know that dude.
A couple good albums.
I know that singer didn't play Iran for the longest time because he was tired of it. Because he was like didn't want to be known for that song, kind of like the Radiohead effect. I
Well,
guess.
it's
Didn't want to be known for a song
did,
he's already known for.
Extreme did that with More Than Words too. They didn't want to.
Well, like
that.
fuck, if you're lucky enough to have a song now,
I think Mr. Big did that with To Be With You also. So it's
Yeah, but I don't blame either one of them bands because they suck.
I mean,
fuck you.
Steely Dan didn't fucking play Do It Again. I mean, come on, that's like one of their most popular songs ever, but they didn't play because they're tired of playing it. But yeah, whatever. All right,
See,
who we
at
on
least
next?
at least with Steely Dan, they have a pretty decent catalog
True.
to pick
Yes,
from.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, check out our Steely Dan episode on the BS sessions, by the way.
Yeah,
So
we reviewed Katie Lied.
yeah. Well, I'm talking about on BS. We made an album.
We did top 11. We made an album.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember that now. Yeah.
Katie Lied is on Freeform.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, Mark. Go ahead.
All right, Mark. I'm gonna go with Iron Maiden. If I can have the date here, and I fucking fucked it up. Legacy of the Beast tour, in 2022, September 21st. I saw them before this, but this was fucking amazing.
Oh, you saw him a couple weeks before I did.
Is that the lightsaber?
That lightsaber show, dude. That because I never seen somebody that they had a pit, dude, with one guy going around in Anaheim, California.
It was like a perfect circle.
The perfect circle of a lightsaber. That made that show memorable for me, dude. I have the shirt. I should have wore the shirt. But like
They had some really cool shirts on that tour.
They had some really cool, but I got this from a bootleg shirt outside. It was
Oh,
better.
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But man, it was fucking cool. Fucking the plane with fucking Aces High coming out over the audience. They played some Senjutsu
I
songs.
was
It
about
was
to say it was a shame they opened up with three some Shih Tzu songs.
I love those Senjutsu songs, but I thought it was an
Yeah, but
amazing
that is
show.
an awful way to open a show, Mark. You got to agree with me on that.
Okay, I
That
don't
is
think so.
not how, as an Iron Maiden show, people that are there on what is called the Legacy of the Beast tour. It wasn't the Shinjutsu tour. It was the Legacy of the Beast tour. That is not a good way to open that show.
But I like those songs that they opened up with.
I'm saying that, but I'm saying, Mark, you have to agree with me. If you're going to the Iron Maiden show,
You should
that
have
is
put
called the
those more
Legacy
in
of
the
the
middle.
Beast.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
You put them more in the
Yes.
middle. Yeah.
First one, space them out. God, playing
Space
three
them
in a
out.
row to
Space
open a
them out.
show.
Well, get them out of the way at least, you know.
Yeah. But they played, that was a great set list. It was a great fucking show. I loved it. It was like,
The rest of the set was, yeah, it was
that
great.
was the show where a guy, it's the lightsaber, and there was a guy who jumped up on stage, and Bruce goes like this to him, "Come here,
That was
come here,"
awesome.
and then throws him back to the security guards. He says, "Come here, come here, come talk."
He was
to
like,
me."
it was like he
Bam!
wanted to. He was like, yeah, come here, come
Come
on.
here, come here, come here.
That's what's up.
That's why it's so memorable for me, man.
That would be. That would be.
Great show.
Those,
Man.
yeah, those were all over.
Plus, I was with my
YouTube.
buddy Daniel Herbert, and also good memory. I love that guy. I haven't hung up with him
How
since
the-
I moved. Fucking love that
Uh,
dude.
I wonder how motherfucker. I mean, I know there's FX sabers he bought. How the fuck did he manage to get that inside the show?
I don't fucking know, dude. How the fuck did he get it in? He must have put it in so because it's plastic and it doesn't go through
Yeah.
the metal detector.
I used to work for Master Replicas. He used to sell those FX lightsabers, and they're actually pretty big, man. So
Yeah. Well, you can actually take them apart because you
You
can
can
go
get
to
the collapsible one.
you
Back
can,
then you
the
could.
collapsible ones.
maybe
Yeah.
now you can, but back then.
But the
you
guy
couldn't.
was just like going in a pit, like circling. You saw the video. I got it up on Freeform. It's fucking pretty cool. Go check that out, man. But that's a pretty memorable show because of that. And the guy who got kicked out, Bruce Dickinson, was like, "Hey, come here, dude. Come here, dude. Get in the back, fucker." Because they have flames come up on stage.
Yeah.
And he
Oh, yeah.
had and the
There it
motherfucker
is.
and the motherfucker had flamethrowers on his fucking arms, dude.
Yeah, that
This
was
was-
awesome.
this-
For Flight of Icarus, he had the flamethrowers.
This was the original from the company.
Dude,
Not the original
you know,
one,
I
the
was
first
just I'm gonna go to Disneyland again on Saturday, but I was in the thing and they have a lightsaber there for 300 and $250, and I go, fuck that
Jesus.
shit. Who buys that shit? I get a 35%
Mark,
discount, but fuck that shit.
you wouldn't believe what Star Wars nerds will do. You won't believe
Dude, I'm a nerd of lots of shit, but I only bought like the Rush box set moving pictures because there's a lot of shit in there.
Yeah, I'm a nerd.
I haven't
on
bought
a
any
budget
other
too,
Rush
but
box
I'm a
set
nerd on a
except that.
budget.
Yeah, see,
I'm
Mark,
a nerd
Mark,
on a budget. Yeah.
Star Wars nerds are kind of like Kiss nerds.
Oh my god, they suck.
Yeah, and there you go. You see what I mean?
I'm the Timu Star Wars fan.
Well, Timu prices are going up. Enjoy.
All right.
Anyway.
You done, man. All right.
That's it.
My next one is really the only modern one that was super memorable for me, and that was last year. Ghost Re-Imperator Tour, man. What a great fucking concert that was, dude. Don't care what you guys think of Ghost, man. They fucking put on a great show. One of the best shows I've ever seen. Tobias has an amazing backup band. Puts on fucking just a great spectacle, man. And oh shit, I can't think of who Amon Amarth opened for him.
Yeah,
Great fucking. I mean, everybody's doing the row.
Viking
and all that shit.
metal.
Fucking
Oh,
A,
wow.
dude. It was just such a great time. I went with my friend Brian and Brad. We're actually gonna go again this year. Great fucking. It's just a great show, man. I'm telling you. And
I'm
Which say-
so mad that I missed out on that tour.
I'm going to segue into something that really is pissing me off. Is their new album. Man, I do not like it. I've listened to it 5 or 6 times, and I am not liking it any better. I haven't opened this yet. I don't listen to the CD.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm 50-50 on it. There's half I like half the songs. I don't like half the songs.
I just don't get it. It's too poppy and too polished, man. I'm like, there are a couple of decent rocking songs, but even they don't resonate with me, man. So this is Man, I don't know if I'm ever gonna like this album, man. So, which sucks. 'Cause I really love this band, and I was really let down. So,
I like the first few songs, and I like the last few, like the last two songs. I don't like any of the stuff in the middle.
yeah. But and I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people that
Yeah,
agree with
I don't like it.
Ralph said the same thing on his review.
Mark, I don't like it.
But no, Jerry, I'm so mad that I missed that the tour last year because that set list was freaking
Oh, it
amazing.
was. Are you gonna go
And
this year?
their set list this year sucks so bad. It is so bad. They cut like all of the prequel and Impera songs out of the set list.
Oh, no way, really?
Yes. They're playing like almost all of Meliora, which is an okay album.
I love that album, so I'll be happy with that one.
But it's like they're playing like 5 songs off the new album, like 7 songs off Meliora, and then like 2 off prequel, 2 off the first like the first album. That's it.
Man,
Like,
if I was a Ghost fan, I'd be pissed.
I think they cut almost everything from their last album, which sucks. I love the stuff off the last album.
Well, I could do without Spillways, but
I think literally the only
songs.
I think the only song that they're playing off that last album on this tour, if I saw the set list right, was like Respite on the Spitalfields, I think.
that's
it.
cool too. Not little Call Me a Little Sunshine.
No,
oh
no
man, that's one of the
Kaisarian.
best songs.
No Kaisarian, no Little Sunshine, no nothing.
That sucks.
I would do with no songs.
I was very under because I was on the fence. I hadn't
Hey,
bought
Mark,
a ticket yet.
I got something for you.
I like Rats.
I was on the fence because I hadn't bought a ticket. I wanted to wait and see what the set list was. I wanted to wait and see what I thought of the new album.
You know what?
But after this new album and seeing the set list,
you know what makes me happy? That a lot of Ghost fans hate this new album.
Mark, like, why does that bring you joy?
I don't know.
why does it bring you joy? When
Because I said this band.
Mark, when a band that people enjoy, when they put out an album that people don't like, why does that make you happy?
Because I predicted this band would suck after a few years, and they started to suck.
They have one bad album.
They have one bad album.
Well, a lot of people say 4 or 5. Ian Wadley hates everything except
but that's albums. Ian.
Yeah. So
he likes Crazy Night. So does I know Nate likes Ghost and Crazy Night.
Oh yeah,
but
I'm just, it's a joke. It sucks when a band you love puts out a bad album like
Mark.
Tesla,
you talk about it far too much for it to be a joke.
Well, I don't talk about Ghost that much.
Not anymore. You do.
I haven't.
You used to.
I used to, but I haven't. You guys brought him up. I didn't bring it up.
Let's move on. Oh bullshit! You used to say, is there anybody that likes this Ghost, this and that? You used to do it all the fucking time.
Yeah, but I haven't done it in years.
You haven't, but you used to.
Yeah, well, because it gets old. My jokes get stale, and I stop it.
Who won your Styx Foreigner poll, by the way?
Foreigner.
That is
fucking way.
That is rigged.
Blasphemy.
Did you guys vote? I didn't see Jerry vote.
Yeah, I
voted. I voted.
Okay.
I voted for Styx.
I love them both, but I like Styx a lot better.
Yeah, but I'm sorry.
Styx has a lot better.
All right. Anyway,
a lot more good music.
I think so too. And they still release new music, even though I don't like most of their new music. But
Foreigner has like a 4-album run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agent Provocateur was lame.
Oh, exactly. I love that album.
Inside Information was better than that.
Tooth and Nail. I love that fucking song, dude.
I Know What Love Is. People love that song. I hate that fucking
dude,
song.
that is the word. That is a good song, but it's a song I don't have to listen to anymore.
It's way better than Waiting for a Girl Like You. Oh my god,
what the fuck are you talking about? That song rules.
That is one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my life.
The vocals by Lou is fucking amazing on that song.
Okay. I said it before. The best song Lou Graham ever sung was Midnight Blue.
Amazing song. No. Amazing song.
I like Just Between You and Me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's a great song.
Yeah. We have nowhere to go. I like that fucking. All right.
The only really ballady Foreigner song I like is I don't want to live.
Hey, you guys need to go listen
like
to You guys need to listen to Shadow King with Vivian Campbell and Lou Graham. That's a great fucking album.
I never heard it, but I'm sure it probably
Shadow King.
I love Lou. Don't get me wrong.
Lou's amazing.
That is a great album.
Yeah, that's the album before Lou Graham was on a lot of coke, and then Vivian left to go to Def Leppard.
Hell, if we're talking vocalists, I'll take Lou over any of the vocalists in Styx. But as a band, Styx is way better.
The first 3 albums that band is way better than Styx.
No.
With Girardi and all those.
No.
Oh, come on, dude.
I
No.
think Styx
I
was
love
very
those.
interesting.
Hey,
With
you
the
know how
first
much I
one.
love Sticks, but
Dude,
I
there's
know.
no.
I think I love Tommy Shaw like and Dennis DeYoung, but Lou Graham is my guy. I
That's
love
Yeah,
the
fine,
but
dude.
lyrics.
Mark,
Yeah,
Foreigner has 3 outstanding albums.
4,
No, I
4.
think Foreigner 4 is one of the most overrated albums of all time.
You're crazy.
Oh,
Girl on the
I think it's
Moon,
great.
Lady in Black. Come on,
Urgent's great.
Girl
That's
on the
about.
Moon.
I
Girl
think
on
it's
the
an
Moon, Lady in
overrated
Black.
album.
Oh
I
no.
love the first 3 Foreigner albums,
All right.
but Styx has what 10 or 12 albums that are
Go
just
listen to Mr.
amazing.
Moonlight, an album that they released that didn't get any fucking
Sticks
promotion.
Sticks only has one flawed album in my opinion.
Yeah, fuck you.
I even like the Big Bang Theory, the cover album. I thought
Oh, I
was-
love that
think
album, Big Bang
Their
Theory.
version of Tommy's version of "Can't Find My Way Home" was fucking awesome.
It's great. It's not better than Steve.
Even Lawrence's "Eye on the Walrus" is fucking pretty.
I love that too.
But anyway, enough of that.
Andy.
Andy, number 7. Sorry, guys, I took it.
Yeah, I wanted to go see this band this night so badly, but I had to go to a birthday party. I went to the party, and man, I was like, man, I really wish I was somewhere else. So in the middle of the party, I just left. I said, you know, I'm gonna take off. So I left early, and I went downtown Houston. Went to this place called Fitzgerald's, which is no longer there. It's just a parking lot now. And I went to go see the Smoking Popes. Now, they released an album back in the late 90s called Born to Quit, which is one of my favorite albums. I absolutely love it. And they were going to play that album beginning to end. So I got there. I said, "How much is the how much is the cover?" Because I didn't even know how much it was. And the guy door at the door goes, "Well, they're about to start. It's all right. Just come on in. No, for free." So I went in there. There are 9 people
Wow.
in there.
Damn.
And I tell you what, when they started that album, us 9 people sang every single word to that whole album. And the stage was one of those small stages that go up to your ankle, and there was no rope or nothing where you could kind of lean on the amps.
Mhm.
And we were pretty much singing all the words back to the band with us like that far from each other. It was one of the most fun time I've ever had. To hear an album that not that many people know, except for a circle of fans that they had, and then to have us 9 people there that you've never met in your life, but enjoying the songs that you thought that nobody else did, it's an amazing feeling. So, Smoking Popes, I didn't get the date on that. Did I get the date?
No.
No, I didn't get the date. But it was a great time. Oh, right here, May 14th, 2011. And they started off before they went into that album. They do a really good cover of the Willy Wonka song "Pure Imagination,"
That's
Oh,
cool.
nice.
which is just great, being played by
In a world of pure imagination.
yeah. I'll send that out to y'all because that's like a big hit for them. I'll send that out to y'all. And also, they've got a couple of songs on some soundtracks. I don't know if y'all heard the soundtrack, but the movie was really good. Angus. It's a really good movie. It's with George C. Scott actually, and
I love
they got
George
a
C.
song
Scott.
on that soundtrack. So the Smoky Popes is my pick for this one.
2-2, huh, Mark?
Yeah. He's in a first, dude. They're just scoring at
I
will,
know.
dude.
Well, that's what kind of happened last night, and then it settled down with
Yeah.
the Panthers.
All right, Joe, what do you got, man?
All right, so this was a phenomenal show I got to see. Unfortunately, there's not really many original members left in this band, but the members that they have between the studio albums that they put out, which are phenomenal, and the live shows that they're doing are amazing. And that's Kansas. I saw Kansas, I believe, 2023, summer of 2023, in Baltimore. It was right when they opened their 50th anniversary tour. It was the second night of the tour, and this was the first tour that they had done without David Ragsdale on violin. They brought in the new guy on violin. Billy Greer was still with him on bass. He hadn't left yet. And they were just a phenomenal show. Philly Hart
came out and played the second half of the show on drums. They had somebody filling in for the first half because he had just had his health issues. So it was just a really great show. They played a ton of songs across their career. It was one of the first times that they ever played The Pinnacle live, which is one of my favorite Kansas songs off the Mask album. And they did a really good job of covering from a lot of their different albums. They played stuff from the first album all the way through to their most recent album. They played Throwing Mountains off their last album, which was amazing track in my opinion. They did stuff that you expect to hear from Kansas. They did stuff you didn't expect to hear from Kansas. They pulled out some deep cuts. An album that I've talked about before on this show that I think is really underrated is their concept album from the late 80s called In the Spirit of Things. And they played one of my favorite songs off that album, The Bells of St. James, the song that closes out the album. They played that live. Unfortunately, I think it was a little hard for them to play live. I don't know if it was vocally or what, but they dropped it like a couple nights later. So I was actually one of the only shows that got to see them play that song. So I'm really, really happy I got to see them early on the tour because, like I said, it's one of my favorite songs from that album. But they did a really great job of covering across their discography. Pulled quite a few songs out from Monolith, which I was excited to see because that's a really underrated Kansas album, in my opinion. But they did some of the 80s stuff. They did, of course, a lot of stuff off Leftover, Point of No Return, Song for America. They just did a phenomenal job. They closed it out with Miracles Out of Nowhere and Carry On Wayward Son, which was an amazing way to close the show. So that's another band that their current lineup is just doing a phenomenal job, both on the road and in the studio. I'm really hoping now that they brought Zach Risby back in the band, who was kind of the person who did a lot of the songwriting on their last two albums. I'm hoping that they do another album with him because those last two Kansas albums are just absolutely phenomenal.
Agreed.
Best thing that they had done in a long time. So that's a band that I'm really glad I got to see, especially bands on their 50th anniversary tour. I mean, geez Louise.
What was it? The Prelude? What is that?
Prelude Implicit.
Yeah, did you ever listen to that, Jerry?
Me?
The Kansas Prelude Implicit.
Yeah. Is it off the last two albums?
Yes.
It is. It's
I told you I listened to them and I really liked it. I actually bought. What was the last song? What's the last song about those albums?
This one's Section 60 on this one.
Yeah, that's not the one. It's the other one. Then what's the
I bought
last song?
I bought the vinyl and they gave me the CD
I love that last song
from Target.
On this one.
What is it?
3-2 Edmonton.
The song The River Sang.
That's it. No, is that it? Maybe that's a song up there. There's a song I really loved. It was a newer Kansas song. I was just getting into. I think I posted it. I'm like, man, this is a great fucking song.
Yeah, no, these two albums are both phenomenal.
Yeah,
just absolutely phenomenal albums.
And I listened to it. I think it was that one, and it was I was just blown away by how good they still sounded. I was like, you know, when a band loses members, this and that, blah 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 blah, they kind of lose that original sound, you know. But I mean, but I was amazed how good they sound still.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and they have some really great live stuff out with the current lineup too. They released two live albums, one where they do all of Leftover and one where they do all of Point of No Return, plus some other stuff, including some songs off of the two newest albums. So they're really on a roll right now as far as releases go. I'm hoping for more from them. I'm hoping for a live album from that 50th anniversary tour, and I'm really hoping for a new studio album from Kansas.
It is the Absence of Presence. That's the album I was talking.
Yep. Yeah, this album right here, their last one, really good album.
I remember posting the last song on that. I was like, really fucking good. It was like one of my favorite songs by them now. So, about the moment, I haven't listened to it in a while, but it was a great fucking song. But all right, let's move on. Tim, what do you got?
All right, my number 7, a band that I never thought I'd see live, but I'm glad I did.
Fuck Edmonton.
Well,
3-2.
This is one of the first concerts I ever went to, and I can't remember which was first, this one or another one up my list, but 1982, The Hop, Dartmouth College in Hanover, New Hampshire, The Clash.
Wow.
Fucking loud. Oh my God, was that loud. Of course, it was, the Hop's maybe 500 seat Nah, not even 500 seat, maybe 300 seat auditorium. Wow. I couldn't hear for like 3 days afterwards.
Wow.
Just and of course I walked in and it was general admission. And I walked in and I see the speakers, so naturally I parked right next to the speaker because I was at the time, and oh, I got my head blown off for Christ's sake. But it was a good show. Good show.
Awesome. All right, Mark, you're it.
I'm going to go. I saw this at the LA Sports Arena, which is no longer there, where I saw Bruce Springsteen on Ton of Love Tour. This could have been higher. A lot of these shows could have been higher, but we had to put them in order. So, Def Leppard, Tesla, 1987 Hysteria Tour.
I had a
Only-
great time at that concert.
Only time I got to see Tesla. I've seen Def Leppard several times since then.
I will hold it up yet again.
Yeah, I want that. I want them to release that on Blu-ray, man.
They never will.
They
Mark,
got
they
to
never will.
release that on Blu-ray.
They are
man.
not a band that releases Blu-rays, unfortunately.
They need to fucking get their shit together. I'm gonna fucking email them.
Write him a strongly worded letter, man.
But I just remember after Tesla played, it was in
Sheldon Cooper.
it was in the round. It was in the round. Tesla kicked
And
ass,
in your face.
and well, back then I didn't know it was in your face till that came out. But in the round, and then they put a curtain up after Tesla plays, and then you hear about Dirty Harry, what a 357 Magnum could do to you, blah blah blah, and all of a sudden you hear, I said, welcome to my show. It's just you and me, babe. We had the whole, and then fucking the drums come in, the house lights go out, the curtain falls, fucking they're all over the fucking stage. I'm like, fucking lasers everywhere. I'm going, fucking A, this fucking rules. That concert is so imprinted in my mind, like all these concerts are. Great fucking memory, great fucking show. I don't fucking care if it's Nine Armed Def Leppard. They fucking put on a show that fucking gave me memories for a
Yeah,
lifetime.
but it's Def Leppard, so
Yeah, but it was a great tour.
Great
I'm not
tour,
a fan of
man.
that album, but that was a great tour.
Hey, Mark, that's the only time you've seen Tesla?
The only time I seen Tesla, man.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's surprising because you really
Wow.
love that band.
Well, because
Even I've seen them twice.
well, because after that,
Yeah.
because after that, it's like I started taking care of my grandma in '93.
Right.
So it's like I didn't get to see them. Basically, I didn't really go to many shows till like
Shows at
'94
that time.
when I saw Pink Floyd Division Bell tour, which is not on my list because I was pissed off at that concert because my friend
Right.
got me shit weed. Okay.
nothing had to do with the band, but
No. I couldn't get high at a Pink Floyd concert, so it pissed me off.
All right. Well, my next one, again, South Florida. I just moved there. I just recently met one of my best friends who killed himself, Joe Lombard. Rest in peace, dude. I
Aw.
still love you, brother. We went to see Boston's Third Stage tour.
oh,
Nice.
Oh, well.
Man, I can't remember the opener. It was some Defiance or some Deability, some shit like that. I can't remember who it was.
Joseph?
I'm on it.
Oh, okay.
Where was it? Where was it at, Jerry?
Hollywood. No, it was Hollywood Sportatorium, or was that
Was it?
fucking? I can't remember where it was. Was it Sporto or it was place in Fort Lauderdale? The
Ralph Fiera, where was it? Oh, wait,
Sunrise
no.
Musical Theater.
Was it in Sunrise?
I can't remember where we saw that at.
I'll find out here in a second.
Please go ahead. God, I can't remember half this shit.
Was it Fahrenheit, the opener?
Fahrenheit F. I knew it was some kind of F or something like that. Define some name like that. Yeah, that's it. But man, just to see Brad Delp live for the very first time was amazing, dude. I mean, they played.
pretty good album too.
Oh, I love it.
It was at the Sporto.
It was at the Sport. I can't remember where it was. At there at the Sunrise Musical, one of the two places. But just to see that band live, because back then I was more of a classic rock guy. I didn't really knew too much of the new heavy metal, the thrash and all that. So
Right.
and I grew up with that Boston debut album. Hearing them play that live, man, seeing
Oh,
Tom
yeah.
Scholz play, holy shit, dude! I'm still blown away by it. It was
That album was
incredible
always
stuff.
played in my house. Always.
And Tom's always had a great band around him. He's always had you got your boy from Sammy Hagar, Gary Peel. They've been together for a long time. Just don't listen to his new album, Alliance. It's terrible. The band he's got now is fucking awful. I got their new CD and it sucks. But anyway, back to Boston. I've seen them a few times, man. They always put on a great show. But I was fortunate to see Brad twice. He is my favorite singer of all time. And again, rest in peace, dude. And why'd you do that, man? Anything can be fixed, man. Sometimes it pisses you off sometimes because you still can hear these guys if they just got help for certain things. Now, I know he fucked up. He did something really stupid.
Well, back then, mental health wasn't a priority.
Well, no, this is recently, but before he died, he had actually put a camera in. Was his girlfriend's sister's?
Yeah,
it was like that.
Check out Three Shots Down on this episode.
And
check out the 3 shots down on Brad Delp.
Yeah, and he couldn't forgive himself. The woman forgave him. He's like, men are perverts, this and that, blah blah.
I'm giving you a shout out for people to go listen to your episode on this. So,
and I mean, I think there's probably more to it than that. People say that Tom Scholes, pushed him in that way. I don't believe that at all. Because Brad Delp left the band a few times. It isn't like Tom Scholes is keeping him prisoner there. But he always came back. But anyway, back to when Brad was alive, incredible singer, talented, just a talent lost too soon, in my opinion, man. I still, every year when March comes around, it makes me sad thinking about his death. So rest in peace, Brad. Love you. I'm glad to have seen you twice. I've seen with Michael Sweet actually one time too. That was actually really entertaining. I guess I hired Michael because Brad couldn't hit the high notes anymore. I think that's why they hired Michael Sweet to do that. The background on that, but
fucking Tom wanted to keep Michael in the band. He says, "No, I got to go back to Striper." That was pretty cool.
But it was still an incredible show. I could have sworn that was Sunrise, man. Are you sure it said it's at the Sporto?
It said they played 2 days at the Sporto.
Maybe that was Brittany Fox and Joan Jett shortly after
that.
Was it? It would have been October of '87.
I can't remember. Yeah, it was during school, so yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, it was at the sport. They did 2 days at the Sporto.
Okay, that was it. Okay. Anyway, Boston's third stage tour, incredible fucking concert, great experience. That's my number 7. Number 6, Andy.
Yeah, my number 6. I am going to go with this was October 9th, 2004 at the Woodlands Pavilion.
Oh wow, that's my 2004.
Yeah.
That's my 24th birthday, October 9th.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, 34th birthday, I mean.
I asked a couple of friends, I was like, you know what? It was a Sunday afternoon. It was kind of quiet. We were kind of just not doing anything. And I said, hey man, let's go see this band. Let's go get tickets at the box office. And then nobody wanted to go with me. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go by myself. I got there. I got my ticket. I went and sat down on the hill because it was an outside forum. It was like 6:30 in the evening. The sun was going down, and the lawn was sparse. There wasn't very much people there. So I sat there waiting for this great band to start, and nobody wanted to go with me. So I enjoyed an evening with the Allman Brothers.
Nice.
Fucking great, man. It was in fact I got it right here with me. It was a tour for their last album, which is Hitting the Note. Great band. Dickie Betts wasn't with them. It was Derek Trucks and Warren Haynes, I think, was with them as well.
Nice.
It's really great how they kept the same vibe that the Allman Brothers had. So it was really cool to see because I'd never seen them before, and I'm a big Allman Brothers fan. So Allman Brothers is definitely going to make my list. I can't believe nobody wanted to go with me. And the tickets were cheap. I think it's like $20 or $25, and they played about a 2-hour plus show. Really great long solos and just everything that you imagine from the Allman Brothers. So it was a good show.
Cool. All right, Joe.
All right. So This is one that I saw end of last summer. I was actually over Labor Day weekend. Um, it was supposed to be in August, but they had to postpone the show because Billy Joe Armstrong lost his voice. And that was Green Day headlining, Smashing Pumpkins opening up. Um, Everyone here knows I'm not a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan, but I thought they put on a really good show. And then, of course, Green Day doing both Dookie and American Idiot in their entireties. It was just a phenomenal show. I mean, for a good solid 2.5 hours, they played like 35 songs. It was insanely good. The crowd was into it. The band was into it. It was just a really, really good show. Really great seeing them. Originally, if it was the original date, I wouldn't have been able to go see them, but thankfully, not thankfully, but um, thankfully for me, they moved the show because Billy Joe lost his voice, and I was able to see it. And they put on an amazing show, so I was thankful I was able to go to see that. So that was Smashing Pumpkins and Green Day.
Jerry.
I was looking up for. I'm sorry. Y'all go ahead.
No, we're good. I was just wondering if he was done or not. That's all.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, he stopped talking. You just sat there.
Yeah, I am.
I was stuck in the
I was
matrix.
lucky enough to see Smashing Pumpkins during the Melancholy Infinite Sadness tour. That's fantastic.
Nice.
I mean, that was when they were in the height of their power.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend and I that went to go see the show, we were convinced that the hotel room that we got in Austin was haunted because there was blood stains all over the hotel.
Ew.
Yeah.
They were like behind a picture. They were underneath the rug. There was a secret room that the door led to that was like had a bed and we're like, what the hell?
As long as there's no Amityville horror shit where the blood's running down the wall and shit.
So we slept with all the lights on, all the doors open.
And of course, the hotel detective, he was out of sight.
Yeah.
I don't know, just me, but that car looks mighty comfortable. That's what I'd be thinking. So get the fuck out of that hotel.
And garbage opened up. That was a good bill.
Yeah. Saw them recently with Alanis. They opened up for Alanis too. They were
Oh,
really
did
good.
they? Yeah.
Liz Fair. Remember Liz Fair?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I sure do.
All right, Tim, what do you got, man?
All right, my number 6. Again, one band was great, another band was meh, but it's kind of odd because if it was nowadays, this lineup would have been reversed big time. But this was 1985, and Bon Jovi opened for Rat at the Chesapeake Coliseum in Chesapeake, Virginia. And I can honestly say Bon Jovi put on a good show because that was before they put out all their crap. Because they were on their 7800 Fahrenheit album, which is good.
If I had to pick a decent album by Bon Jovi, that would probably be it. 7800 Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm. And then Rat was on
their
Invasion of Your Privacy tour.
Silent Night.
And
that sounds kind of depressing. Sorry,
I love
Tim,
that song.
They were just on fire at that point.
Oh yeah, they were.
So
Tokyo Road. Love Tokyo Road.
I think it's fun.
In and Out of Love.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Mark, this song is it might not have been like the greatest concert, but it's like I met two of the greatest people in my life ever. Vincent Cavanagh and Eddie Canistracci. Judas Priest, Microsoft Theater, June 27th, 2019. I met these people. Vincent Cavanagh put on Facebook, "Hey, I got an extra ticket to Judas Priest. Who wants to go?" I worked that day, and I said, "I'm calling in. I'm going." He said, "Okay, meet me there." I met him there, and that's the first time I saw Eddie Canistracci and Vincent. Like, and I went to several shows with Vincent and Eddie after that, but it was amazing to meet two brothers that I love to this day. Vincent, I kind of don't talk to him as much as Eddie, but I love Vincent. He knows I love him. and we talk. I just don't like politics. He's way too politics too much for me. But Eddie, you fucking rule. That was an amazing concert at Meet You too. And then we went to another Judas Priest concert, both of us together again at the Shrine. I think a couple of years later, and when Queensryche opened with Todd Delatorre, I think this one was Uriah Heep. I didn't really care for Uriah Heep. They were kind of boring for me, but Judas Priest kicked fucking ass. Fucking great show because I met two lifetime brothers, especially Eddie. I love you, Eddie. I will see you on a Cheap Trick episode, by the way.
All right, so it's my turn. My oldest sister was definitely influential in getting me into rock and roll music. And as a, what was I, 12 or 13? Got to see my first concert. Guess what it was? I've said it before. Yes, 9012 Live, man. Riverfront Coliseum. I can't remember if it was 83 or 84. I
The
can't
best,
remember.
yes.
But holy shit. I mean, it was so long ago I vaguely remember. It's all blurry, a lot of it, but I remember just being blown away with the sound of a live concert from a major band, dude. And man, till this day, that's why I fell in love with. That's probably why I think that Carnation of Yes is my favorite, because that's the first concert I've ever seen, and that album, 90125 was just fucking huge. And
It's
Owner of a
Trevor's
Lone
voice,
Star?
man. Trevor's voice.
oh yeah, incredible fucking concert from what I remember. I go back to YouTube a lot and watch clips so I could kind of remind, it kind of clears out the visuals formula, because it's been so long ago. Time, unfortunately, you forget a lot of stuff. So not forget, but it just seems blurry. But as a kid, still being influenced, I could have won country, maybe, you know what I mean? I could have won a different way, but my sister, both Mary and Amy, both got me into rock. They both, especially Amy, she got more into like disco and shit like that at a certain point. So she went the wrong way. But
she could go rock the boat.
me and my older sister have had some difficulties in the past as far as family, but I always thank her for she got me into Styx, all those bands that I love today, Zeppelin. So
What is up
thank
with
you for
Amy?
that.
I haven't seen her on Facebook in a long time, man.
She's still there every now and then.
She
She's
ain't talking to
working.
me anymore.
Oh, she works from like 12 to 9 or something like that now.
Oh,
Because
okay.
she's working for a California company where that 10 o'clock is
Oh, I miss her. So
12 o'clock. Yeah, she's still there. But anyway, yes, 9012 Live is my number 6. All right, number 5, Andy.
Yeah, it's going to kind of mirror Mark's over there. It's going to be Judas Priest. The second time I saw them, the first time I saw them was with Slayer, and I was with my cousin, and my cousin is not a big Judas Priest fan, but I sat through Slayer for him, and then when Judas Priest came out, Rob Halford came out on a motorcycle. He goes, "Oh, this looks stupid. Let's go." And he was my ride, so I had to leave. So the second time I went to see Judas Priest, I had to call my friend Jeremy this week and say, "Man, was this other band really on the bill? Because I don't remember seeing them." He goes, "You don't remember seeing them?" So we saw Testament. That I remember. Motorhead. That I remember.
damn.
I've
But
never seen Motorhead live.
But I don't know what happened, because I don't remember Heaven and Hell being on that
Ooh.
bill, and Judas Priest.
That's a hell of a concert.
That is.
And when I called him, because I thought maybe Heaven and Hell might have been a different leg or something, He goes, "Dude, you don't remember Heaven and Hell?" I go, "I really don't." He said they were phenomenal. They were fantastic.
God damn,
I know
yeah,
that
they
Judas
are.
Priest was great, because I'd been waiting to see Judas Priest, and I knew that if I went with this buddy, he wasn't going to go anywhere, because Judas Priest is his, one of his favorite bands. So I knew I wasn't going to go anywhere. But he was telling me that was also one of the last times, because Dill passed away shortly thereafter.
Yep.
But I'd seen Dill at least 5 times. But this was the one and only time with Heaven and Hell, but I don't remember seeing it. I got
You
to
don't
go
remember?
through that
I know they
playlist.
had to play Bible Black. That's some rules.
So yeah, that's going to be one on my list. but Judas Priest was just great at that time. And I just finished KK's book today. I just finished hearing it. It was a good book, and he makes me want to go listen to Nostradamus. So that's something that I'm going to have to do very soon here.
I like that.
I'll pray for you. I'll pray
Yeah.
for you, Andy.
Okay.
I do like Nostradamus.
Because
I love-
KK,
but-
See, Mark bands are
Oh,
allowed shitty albums.
Angel
There's proof right
Retribution
there.
is better though.
Very
oh,
much
well,
so.
Angel
Yeah.
Retribution, I do like. I
Yeah.
know that one backwards and forwards, but KK says that Nostradamus is one of his favorite albums. He also said that they messed up on the tour for that album. He said that they should have, incorporated more of that album. Instead, that was next. And in fact, in the book, it said a lot of his ideas were ignored.
Well, yeah, that's right
By the
before they
band.
kicked him out.
Yeah, according to the book, they didn't kick him out. He walked out.
Well, of course he's gonna favor it in his own view. So
Okay, so tell me how that happened then.
well, I don't know. I couldn't tell you who's right, who's wrong.
I think there was a
what's the story
I
that
think
they
it was
kicked him
I
out?
think there was a disagreement. He said I'm leaving. They said don't come back.
Yeah, I think it was a fuck you situation.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that he had a big issue with. I didn't know that him and what's the other guitar player's name? I
Glenn
forgot.
Tipton.
Glenn Tipton.
Glenn
Oh, they had a
Tipton.
huge falling out.
Oh well, they didn't like each other from the beginning.
Yeah.
Glenn's still
And
getting up
Glenn-
there. Is he still up there on stage, Mark?
He comes
No.
up once in a while.
Yeah.
Maybe like a song
but-
or two.
But Glenn and their manager really had a really good relationship, and whatever Glenn said is the way it went, without consulting anybody.
Well,
And
they were
that-
chirping. They were chirping at each other at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
Yeah.
induction. I hear too. So yeah, they. still
And
got good.
eventually, KK just got tired of not being part of the decision making,
Yeah.
even though the decision making never even got to the rest of the band members. It was Glenn and the manager. I forgot her name. Who
Isn't
just
it-
made their own
Isn't it?
decisions.
Isn't it? Who's the other guitar player again?
Glenn
Glenn
Tipton.
Tipton's wife.
Glenn-
She's the manager,
That was-
right? Isn't Glenn Tipton's wife the manager of Judas Priest? So it's kind of like a conflict of interest.
I don't think they were married.
But they are kind of.
I think it's like his sister-in-law or something. Like there's a relationship there.
there is a relationship. Yeah.
That kind of didn't care if the other band members knew what was going on or not.
Yeah.
And that got on KK's, like KK was saying in the book, up to 20 years, you get tired of that,
Yeah.
not being part of the decision making or whatever.
But wasn't it
ideas came
KK's
up with.
decision to make Nostradamus?
It was a
If that's the case, then he
idea,
deserved to get kicked out.
from somebody in the camp, and they went ahead and they ran.
Isn't he
they
the
ran with
one
it.
that brought in Ripper Owens too?
Yes.
So KK made a lot of decisions. I'm just saying.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I know,
he's
that
being
whole-
kind of bitter there.
That whole situation kind of reminded me of the Queensryche situation where Jeff Tate was married to their manager.
Yeah.
And then the Soundgarden situation where Chris Cornell was married to the same manager.
Kind of.
All right. So
Like
we're
neither one of them worked out very well.
at Joe.
All right. So my next one, of course, with what's going to be happening with me in the next 24 hours, I had to include one of the years I went
Hangover?
to the M3. Yeah, well that. But
I need
One
more
of the-
booze. I'll be right back.
I had to include one of the years of the M3 Rock Festival in here. Mark, this is important for you. So I
I'm
don't want you
listening
to
real
leave.
quick before I go
I
get
don't
booze.
want you
That's
to
why I
leave.
didn't leave.
This of all the years I've gone to the M3 Rock Festival, this was probably my favorite year. It was the first show I saw after COVID. They postponed it to July. Normally, M3 of course is in May. They had it on 4th of July weekend that year in 2021, and just the theme for the weekend for me was all of the bands that were kind of headlining. It was probably the best time I saw them. The set lists were amazing.
I've talked with Marc about this in the past. Some of the set lists that I wanted to highlight. The first one was it was easily the best time I saw Winger, and I'm seeing them this weekend too. So I'm excited to see them again. But they pulled at that point they had 6 albums out, and they pulled from 5 of them for that set list.
Wow.
They played 15 songs or 14 songs, and they pulled from every album except for I think 4 was the only album they didn't pull anything off of.
I like 4.
But they had stuff, of course, mainly the first 2 albums, but they had stuff from Karma, Pull, Better Days Coming, opened up with Midnight Driver, A Love Machine. They did Junkyard Dog. They did Pull Me Under, Down Incognito, Deal with the Devil, Rat Race, and then of course all the classics. Headed for a Heartbreak, 17, Miles Away, Can't Get Enough, Easy Come, Easy Go. I mean, just phenomenal set list. Then the headliner that night, of course, Friday night at that time, Kix was the headliner. They always were the headliner on Friday night. Kix put on an amazing show. They were doing a lot of stuff from Midnight Dynamite on that show for the anniversary of that album. Saturday night, the headliner was Queensryche. Easily the best time I've seen Queensryche. The set list, I'll just read through the set list for Queensryche because it was just one of the best set lists I've ever seen. They opened up with The Needle Lies, which was really awesome. Walk in the Shadows, Prophecy,
Nice.
Blood of the Levant, I Am I, Man the Machine, Breaking the Silence, I Don't Believe in Love, The Whisper, Silent Lucidity, Jet City Woman, Take Hold of the Flame, Queen of the Reich, Eyes of a Stranger, and then the encore was Operation Mindcrime, Screaming in Digital, and Empire.
That's
just
great set
one
list.
of the best set lists I've ever seen from any band. It was pouring down raining. I tell you, I was literally the only person standing on the lawn at Meriwether Post Pavilion. Everyone else was huddled under the stairs and everything. I was out on the lawn just jamming out because it was such an amazing show. The set list was amazing. My mom was pissed off because she was huddled under the stairs with everybody else. She was so mad she wanted to leave, and I said, I'm not leaving. When they were playing this set list, I wasn't leaving. But the next day, it was the first time I saw Accept, and they were phenomenal. I'm seeing them. They're playing this weekend as well. Phenomenal. And then the headliner that night was Night Ranger, and it was probably the best time I ever saw Night Ranger. They opened up with Touch of Madness, which was just amazing to me. I did not expect to see them play that. They've kind of focused a lot on that album. They played 6 songs off that album, which it was the only time I've ever seen them play Touch of Madness. They played Why Does Love Have to Change, which I did not expect to see them play that night. They did Rumors in the Air, and then of course all the hits off that album.
I saw them play both those albums in its entirety when I saw them in Anaheim.
Nice.
I don't know why I don't have that show on here.
The first 2 albums?
Yeah, they played the first 2 albums in its
Nice.
entirety. Yeah.
And that was the night that I witnessed Night Ranger play Secret of My Success.
Yeah.
They didn't
Sorry,
play that song
man.
when I saw them. They did play
So bad.
Sentimental Street at the Encore and stuff like that.
I've seen them play that. That's a great track.
I don't like it when Kate Kelly comes behind a drum set and I stay behind a drum set.
He only usually does it during Goodbye. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't like just stay behind the drum set.
I do love they didn't play Goodbye at that show. I didn't see them play Goodbye until
they played Goodbye and Sentimental
2
Street
years
in the
ago.
Encore. Yeah.
When I saw them that the show that I think we were all talking in the group chat that night that I was at the Bike Week when they were playing nothing but covers.
Yeah.
We were all pissed about how they were playing nothing but covers. But that was the first time I'd ever seen them play Goodbye. And then last year at M3 they played Goodbye as well. And that was really cool because he came out.
I hated how Night Ranger puts a lot of covers in their fucking set. Just play you have so
It was only
right?
that honestly, that one show, I've seen them 5 times. That one show was the only time I ever saw them play all the covers. Every other time I saw them play at M3, they cut everything but except the damn Yankee songs.
I love Damn Yankees, but I want to hear more of your songs. You know.
Yeah, which is why I highlighted 2021 where they pulled out Why Does Love Have to Change?
Yeah,
and Secret of My Success, which even I hate that
that
song, but Touch of Madness. Just all these great deep cuts. Like I saw last year when I saw them, they played Eddie's Coming Out Tonight, which I'd never seen them play before.
I was disappointed they didn't play nothing from the band played on when I saw them, and
I don't think they've really played anything off that album live.
They played like 3 songs off of it in the beginning of that album, and then they just dropped them.
I've only ever seen them play
Breakout.
Well, no, nothing off that album. What was the one before that?
Remember? Was it Don't Let Up?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I saw them play one song off that the first time I saw Night Ranger, but
Yeah,
that's
but I
literally
saw
it.
them. They were playing Breakout and another song off, and the band played on. And then when I saw them, they didn't play it at all. It was like,
Well,
what?
hopefully, maybe next month when I see them, they'll play something off of
God,
new
Breakout
stuff.
is an amazing fucking
But
track.
yeah,
Live.
no, that was 2021 was probably my favorite M3. Just so many great bands. Lita Ford was there; she did great.
You know she died today, right?
What?
They said she died today. Death by internet again.
Oh, great! They better not, because she's playing M3 this weekend too. Oh, you scared me there for a minute.
No, but death by internet,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a really great show. I think Bullet Boys, the reunion lineup was the year they played there, where they was all the original members of Bullet Boys.
There's 2 original members in there now.
Yeah, but the 2021, it was the full original lineup.
One guy came back again.
Yeah,
I forgot
but
who it was.
that was the year it was. They all were in it. But yeah, it was a really great lineup of M3. I'm excited for this weekend too. So
I can't wait. I can't wait for you to talk about it in the group.
There's some that I'm Ace Frehley.
We
and
need
David
to
Lee
hear
Roth.
about David Lee Roth, dude. You need
David Lee Roth
that.
and Ace Frehley. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, it's really, honestly, if you look at it, it's David Lee Roth's first big time headlining show in like 20
maybe
years.
he might be good.
Because he did those couple Vegas shows a couple years ago, but other than that, it's all been opening gigs.
Yeah.
This is his first like big headlining show.
Well, he did open for Kiss, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I said open. This is his first headlining gig in like
true.
20 years.
I saw him on a skyscraper tour.
Well, I did too, and I almost put that show on my list. I almost put that on my
40
show.
years ago.
That was a great show by
Shut up, Joe.
That's an honorable mention right there. My only honorable mention is Skyscraper Tour, Daily Roth. Great show.
I'm interested because the last like 15 years he's done like none of his solo songs. So I'm like, what's he even gonna play? Like he doesn't do his solo songs anymore.
Busy bop, bitty bop.
He does that.
That's
he
a
does
cover,
that.
though.
That's a cover. He does Tobacco Road, which is a cover.
Shy Boy?
And then about no, he's never played that live.
Oh, I love that.
Dancing in the Streets.
No, he doesn't do that. But it's mostly Van Halen songs and then like Just a Gigolo, Tobacco Road. I think he does Just Like Paradise. I think that's literally the only solo song he does. Which is crazy. Like you don't do Yankee Rose. Like
right.
Craziness.
Rise them up, see salutes, babe. Da, da, da.
Anyway, you can go get your drink now, Mark. I'm finished.
Damn.
Well, am I next?
No,
Who's next?
No,
Tim's next.
Tim is next.
Well, I want to hear what Tim says, and I'll go get my drink.
All right.
Wait, then you're next after that, Mark.
Well, he'll talk a little bit.
Okay.
I'm quick.
I've heard that about you.
Fuck you.
My number 5 is I saw this act or this show. I said 1986, but it might have been 1985. At a place we called it Mother's Boathouse, but it's actually, I think the official name is Mother's on the Water in Norfolk, Virginia, which back then it was a pretty big venue. It's not there anymore, but back when I saw it, was there. 2 things about this show that really stood out to me. It was Keel, Helix, and Accept.
Heel.
What?
All right, I'll
Yep.
be right back.
On a triple bill. Keel is the first time I ever see a band that didn't have a drum riser. The drums were just set up on the floor, which I'd never seen before. And Helix,
Was it in front of the stage at least?
yeah, it was in the center of the stage, just like it
Was it in the
should
front
be.
though? What was it in front of the stage though? No.
No, it was in back, with everybody else, but it wasn't on a riser. So
That's
like you
weird.
couldn't see the drummer because all the rest of the bandmates were around, the drums. It was really weird. But I don't know if they didn't get the drum riser in time to set it up or, I don't know. But so the second thing was Helix's guitarist, I believe his name is Paul Hackett or Paul Hackman, something like that. Had a broken leg, and he came out and he had a bar stool and he put it down on the stage, and that's where he sat for the whole show. And you could tell he just wanted to get up and fucking jam, but he couldn't. And it was just funny because they're coming over and like Ron Q would come over and accidentally kick his leg. It's like but it was a good show. And then except Ludo was just fucking phenomenal. God, that guy. Great show. Just a great show. Great night.
All right, Mark is almost back. Just in time, Mark.
I'm excited with except
Just in time,
is playing at M3 again this weekend. And they're
Yeah, I
all
don't
just
blame you.
great live.
Which is funny because I've seen except with Udo, but I've also seen TT Quick with except
Tornillo.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love TT Quick. That's a great band, man.
But I'll tell you what, there is very few replacement singers that have fit into a band so well as Tornillo has into Accept.
Tornillo is amazing.
Big time.
Live and in the studio, he just sounds amazing with them.
Yeah.
He can sing the Udo stuff, but he can also the stuff they've done with him is really Blood of the Nations. Amazing.
Yeah, I just said the same thing.
All right, Mark, go ahead, man.
Yeah,
We gotta get going. We gotta get it going here.
yeah. Well, I'll say I saw this tour at the 1987 Joshua Tree tour at the LA Coliseum. Again,
I thought that was gonna be your number one.
No, my number one's is the first concert I've ever seen. So this is a fucking great show. Fucking they came out. It was like the silhouettes on the back. Streets Have No Name. One of the most amazing. And then I finally saw them like about 4 years ago again. That was the only time I seen them till 4 years again. And then I saw them at the LA Forum, which is really good at the Innocence tour. God dang, this band does not quit. I love them. They are so amazing live. If you've never seen U2 live, go see them. They are fucking amazing. And Bono still has his voice, unlike David Lee Roth. Okay.
Yeah, but David Lee Roth never had a voice to start with, so.
Some would say Bono never did either.
And they're idiots.
At least live, anyway. I mean, in the studio, David Lee Roth's fantastic, but.
Thank you, Ted Templeman. All right, Jerry, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Sorry, man. I'm like half 3/4 asleep here.
You're almost retired, bitch.
Yeah, well, then I'll be happy.
You're gonna be bored as fuck.
Where are we on? Number 5?
Yeah.
That's why we're starting a
number
6
5.
channel, Mark.
Yeah. West Palm Beach Auditorium. Metallica and Queensryche, man. What a fucking great show that was. And besides the show being awesome there, I learned things what not to do when you're in a relationship. I was going out with Dina, Mark knows Dina, and we're sitting there watching the show. I was with my friend JC and Joe. And this girl, I mean, she was hot. Long brown hair, cut off jean shorts, titties. I mean, she had it all. Sorry, but
wait, a girl had titties?
Yeah, I mean,
I love titties
popping out. And
I mean, I got titties, but
well,
different
no
kind,
offense.
Tim. Different kind.
I got moobs.
Okay. But anyway, she wanted to get on my shoulders. And being the dumb kid, I let her. And she was hot too. So I'm lifting her up. And I could just see my girlfriend Dina that look. And if she could have stuck a shoe up my ass that night, she probably would have. Don't do that. I wasn't thinking. I mean, she was hot. I was thinking that, but I wasn't thinking I'm going to score with her. I just wasn't thinking. I thought I was being nice. But
See,
yeah.
My dad did that at a concert when he wasn't in a relationship.
Oh, okay.
When my dad
Go ahead.
in 82, I think it was, saw Kix Crocus and Ted Nugent. And a girl looked at him and said she couldn't see the show, so he said, "Well, I can help you see the show."
And one of the worst experiences I had at that concert too was it was a general admission around the floor, and man, it just kept going. I mean, you couldn't do anything about it. You were just going with the flow of people pushing each other and stuff. That's why I don't like general admission concerts because of that. But besides the fact that I learned a lesson about
Shit.
what not to do in a relationship is the show was awesome. I mean, that was Metallica's first real money tour, and then Queensryche. I was not familiar with Queensryche that much when that came out. I don't. Empire came out in '90, right? So that was Mindcrime, probably, huh?
That was Minecraft,
No.
but they weren't.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would have been because that's
Yeah.
what Justice Tour.
Damage
Yeah,
Justice,
Minecraft. Yep.
Yeah. But all in all, it was a great fucking tour and a great. I loved it and have nightmares about it at the same time. All right, so number
Justice
4.
Tour. Did they have a bass player on stage?
He was there. He had a pretty good kick-ass solo, if I remember right, too. He did. His solo was amazing. Anyway, Andy, go ahead, man.
Yeah, the one and only time I saw AC/DC was for the Stiff Upper Lip tour. Slash the Snake Pit opened up, which was pretty cool.
That was a great
I've seen
band.
Slash several times with Slash the Snake Pit, Guns N' Roses, and a couple of times with Velvet Revolver.
I seen him
But,
with Miles Kennedy. Really good.
Yeah, he's a really good performer and keeps you entertained. But man, AC/DC was fantastic, and they played at the Compact Center, which is now Joe Osteen's church.
Ooh.
They bought it right after that show,
Ooh.
right after AC/DC played it. And man, my cousin and I were up there in the rafters. But man, it was a great show. And I never, for the life of me, I will never understand why, For Those About to Rock, We Salute You closes the show. It should open. They should open the show with that.
No, they should close it with that.
No,
I think it's a
open it.
good closer.
It's a great
Open it.
closer with the cannons going off.
For those
They should
about to
always
rock,
close.
for those about to rock, we salute you.
Dude, because they're ending the show with like fire. They're fucking hitting those cannons. I seen them on the Raises Head tour, and that was amazing when they closed it out with that, dude.
Yeah, but they could do that in the beginning too.
No, that's like shooting your load at once, dude.
Well, that's kind of the idea, isn't it?
No, I like it when they end it because they extend that song long when they play it live.
Yeah, but it just it's in the words for those about to rock.
Yeah, because they're ending the show, man. We're fucking saying, hey, man.
Oh, but
our
at the
ode to
beginning,
rock
you'd
and
be
roll.
like, we're just getting started, folks.
We're about to rock.
Yeah, well, they have a lot of rocking songs they could start the show with. That's a great ender.
But,
Joseph,
it
you
was a
have
great
something
show.
to say about that. What do you think,
I
Joseph?
don't. I'm not gonna get into this battle of semantics.
What do you think should end a show or begin a show?
No, it should. It's a great ending song.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, but I would like for it to open it.
Well, we could either or.
Well, either way, they were fantastic, and they're one of my favorite bands. So AC/DC. And it is Joseph's turn.
I
Yes,
think
there is.
Jerry fell asleep.
Yep.
Hey, it's the Mooger part 2.
Anyway, so my next pick.
Where we at?
It's me,
Uh,
Jerry. It's me.
Joe, thank you.
So summer 2019. Me and my buddies all had tickets to go see Korn and Alice in Chains. And we were excited we'd never seen either band. We had lawn seats. That was what we were mainly getting at that time. We still do most of the time. But we get to the venue. It was chance of rain. And so just for fun, we walked over. They had a little tent with a Live Nation logo on it. And we said, hey, do you guys have any like upgrades or anything? And the lady's like, yeah, sure. Where do you want to sit? And we looked at her. We're like, what do you mean? Where do we want to sit? She's like, well, yeah, where do you want to sit? And we're like, well, what do you have? She's like, well, would you guys want to be up in the pit? We're like, yeah, sure. How much is that going to cost? She's like, here you go. And so we got free upgrades from the lawn all the way up to the pit for Korn and Alice in Chains. Alice in Chains was on first. There was a couple opening bands. They were whatever. Alice in Chains was on first. Alice in Chains was amazing. It was right after Rainier Fog came out. Really great show. Great set list covering the old stuff, a couple of the newer songs as well. But they were just amazing. And then Korn came out and just blew the roof off the place. I mean, they honestly, say what you want about Korn, but they put on one hell of a show. One of the funniest memories I have is I'm up in that pit. We're 10 feet from the stage. Korn comes out. They open up with Here to Stay. 10 seconds into that song, I got an elbow to the back of the head.
Ooh.
And I knew it was going to be downhill from there. But it was an amazing time, an amazing show. Both bands were just phenomenal. Jerry's asleep. It's a great time. It was just a really, really great time.
Mooger Part 2.
Yeah, no, Korn and Alice in Chains. It was just a phenomenal show. And with the little story of getting free upgrades from the lawn all the way to the pit, it was a great experience. So, yeah, that's my number 4.
Who's
I'm
Tim
guessing
next?
Tim is next.
All right. My number 4, and Jerry already mentioned this, was Badlands, Great White, and Tesla at Great Woods, which is now the Xfinity Center in Mansfield, Massachusetts. And I believe that was 1990.
He awoke.
Great show. I
turn?
remember.
No,
My
not
turn?
yet. No, Jerry.
I remember them starting the show, Badlands Open, and
Incredible. It was a fucking great, man, that was a great.
and the opening
concert.
riff to High Wire, where it goes da 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 da.
Yeah, great
They-
fucking. You guys saw Badlands? I'm so
He did
jealous.
that riff, and it sounded like it was coming out because the Marshall stacks were fucking amazing, but it sounded like it was coming out of the right, and then about 2 seconds later, you heard the same thing coming out of the left. And it was just like, well, how the fuck did he get from there to there that fast? Because literally had to run across stage. But whatever. And then all of a sudden they lit into it, High Wire, and it was the whole thing, the whole show was fucking amazing. Every band was on fire that night. And of course, Great White and Tesla, I love both of them. So, but yeah, Badlands, I gotta admit, they did me right. And of course, Eric Singer was still in the band, so he was back there, and I was like, "Wow, this band's really going to go somewhere." I really think this band's going to go
They
somewhere.
should have if Ray Gillian didn't fuck up.
That was on their debut album, so it was like, and they were doing, Hard Driver and everything.
Winter's Call, man. Winter's Call. Goddamn. Crazy. Where are we at, Jerry? Are you asleep? Is it my turn?
It's you, Mark.
It's my turn. I'm going to go with Full Moon Fever Tour, Strange Behavior Tour, Tom Petty. March 1990. And fucking this show had Lenny Kravitz opening up for him.
That already?
Yeah, Lenny Kravitz opening for him. And Bruce Springsteen and Bob Dylan came up and sang some songs with him.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Bruce Springsteen opened.
No, Lenny Kravitz opened up for him at the Forum, at the LA Forum. No, this is March in 1990. I saw this tour, and the great thing about that tour is my buddy Tim Newbold. We were there, and I'm going to see the Alice Cooper fucking Judas Priest tour with him, and we saw LA Guns. We see a lot of concerts together. We saw Iron Maiden together. But fucking A, man, this is cool because one big memory is that there was people, we were up in the top of the Forum, and these people started fighting, these two guys, and they rolled down the stairs. It's like, yeah, dang, this is better than the show. A fight, fucking like a hockey fight in a fucking concert. But it is amazing because I saw Lenny Kravitz open and Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen came out there and sang with him on a couple tracks. So that was fucking pretty cool. And I've seen Tom Petty like 7 times, and it was one of the best I've ever seen him. Great fucking tour, man. Mike Campbell kicked ass. My God, so good.
Jerry, you're up.
Right. For sentimental reasons, first concert I take my daughter to, Aerosmith and Kid Rock.
I was gonna say The Cure.
before Kid Rock was a total douchebag.
He's not a douchebag.
He's a fucking douchebag.
Yes, he is. Mark.
But
Big
and he
time
sucks.
piece of shit.
But I'll tell you that the guy fucking had the crowd in his hands. He really did. The
Oh, yeah.
crowd was digging it. The Shoreline Amphitheater in California. The Aerosmith, man, was just on fucking fire that night. I mean, the energy of the crowd that whole night for both bands was one of the most electrifying crowds I've ever seen. Aerosmith and fucking ruled, in my opinion, that night. I've seen them like 6 times, and that was the best time I've seen them. Even their set list. Well, I mean, they played some duds. I mean, they played Pink and shit like that. But they did like Draw the Line, fucking Toys in the Attic,
song.
Back in the Saddle.
Well,
Fucking,
Kings and Queens is my. Did it do Kings and
no,
Queens?
I don't remember they did Kings. And
I
Queens
don't.
that
Think,
one.
I
don't
saw
think
them
so.
on
No.
Permanent Vacation and a Pump Tour. They never did Kings and Queens. My favorite Aerosmith song.
The only thing about Aerosmith that pissed me off is I saw them. I think it was tour after that. They did Seasons of Wither, and people are walking out getting drinks, going to the
What the
bathroom.
fuck is
Like,
wrong with that shit?
what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Well,
That
they're
song
waiting for.
rules.
Were they waiting for? I don't want to miss a thing.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes. They had like a
Fucking-
B
oh, I fucking
because I
hate
remember that they had a B stage. They would play a lot of. Then they go to the B stage, which is like near the lawn.
You know, Aerosmith set in America, they have to play I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, but when they go down to South America, they want to hear the old shit. It's like, damn.
They want to
tell
hear
you
the
what,
old
man.
shit here too.
Those South Americans, man, when you see concerts from there, dude, those people are into it,
nuts.
man.
Oh, that
They are
Rush,
nuts.
that
Fucking
Rush live in
nuts.
Rio DVD is
Best
amazing.
show they did.
Best show ever.
But anyway, for sentimental reasons, I put that one a little bit higher because I get to see that with my daughters. Aerosmith and Kid Rock. We're on number 30.
30.
3 or
30.
2?
3.
3.
30.
30.
I said 3.
Oh, they said 30. We're on 3,
All right.
bitch.
We could be on 30. I don't fucking know.
Wake up,
Yeah,
Jerry. Why'd
one of the best
you leave the
shows-
keys up on the table?
one of the best shows I
You
ever
wanted
saw. That's fantastic. Paul McCartney at Minute Maid Park.
Oh, shit, I
It's
forgot
amazing.
about him.
Just to see the electricity throughout the stadium, it felt like Beatlemania. You know, the electricity and the excitement of the whole show. And he played a long time. It was a great. Of course, he doesn't get to play everything you want him to hear because, he could cut out some wings and add some Beatle tracks. But that's just me. But still, I got to see him. That was the second time I saw him. A great show. Great band with him. Going from instrument to instrument, he is one of the best of all time. So Paul McCartney.
Fuck Edmonton. Okay.
They score another goal.
Yeah, 4-2 now.
Fuck them.
Where are we at, Jerry?
Joe.
All right. So my number 3, again, this is a band I've talked about a lot, so much so that Jerry and I are starting a YouTube channel without them. One of my favorite bands to see live, and that is Styx. Just a phenomenal lineup of musicians that sounds amazing to this day. And my favorite time that I've seen them is when I saw them last September. I talked about it then. Just this little theater. The crowd was super into it. Probably the best set list I've seen them play. Really varied. Old stuff. They played a couple newer songs. The first and only time I've seen them do Man in the Wilderness, which made me cry.
Oh, I love that song.
It was just an amazing
I
show.
would cry also.
It was a last minute thing. Like they only announced it like 2 months ahead of time. They added a show in Hershey and a show in Baltimore, both at little theaters. And it was really cool because it was just a completely different atmosphere from what I'm usually used to seeing Styx in bigger places, amphitheaters, stuff like that. This was probably just a little, like barely 1,000-seat theater that was just really into it. And it was just a great atmosphere for them. The band was having a great time. The crowd was having a great time. And it was it was easily the best time I've seen Styx. And it was just an amazing show. So they're a band that I always love to see. Every time they come around, I will go out of my way to go see them. Just an amazing show. Tim, what's your next pick?
My next pick is, again, 1986, Norfolk Scope. I saw a lot of shows at Scope. I went into this show not expecting much, and boy, was I mistaken. Aerosmith, Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent opened for Aerosmith. I went in this show because, not expecting much because they were both in their 40s at the time. And Jesus Christ, they put on a fucking show. I mean, Ted Nugent was everywhere. He's fucking climbing the rafters.
Wait. Time out. 40s is too old. You didn't know what to expect. Come on, man. 40s.
Well, back when I was 20, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fuck me.
But they were phenomenal.
I'm
And
turning off this game. It's pissing me off.
You
I remember
should.
the show because we were at general admission. And I was standing right up at the barrier. And this chick comes up, and she was a cute little thing, and she had a nice little ass and nice tits, and she had on stonewashed jeans, which I like. And anyway, she says, "Can I sit on your shoulders?" And I went, "Sure." Now I'm only 5'7", so it ain't like she's gonna, get a great grand view. But she sat on there, and I don't think she was on there for 10 seconds. I don't know what she was doing because I couldn't get my head up in time. But all of a sudden, this big fucking security guard comes over and just picks her off my shoulders and brings her over and gives her a backstage pass, and off she goes. And I'm looking up, and all I could see was her back. And I was like, son of a bitch, I missed a view of the boobs.
That sounds like
About
Andy.
it till after the fact, But yeah, it was a great show. Great show.
It wasn't
King-
me on her shoulders.
No, but you lost the chick at a concert
Oh.
like he did. But Edmonton's gonna win the series, so fuck the Kings right now. I'm pissed off. They're 5-2 now.
No fucking way. Is it really? It was just
It's
4-2 a
5-2.
second ago.
It's 5-2, man.
Anyway, Mark, what's your next pick?
My next pick is 2 shows. They were back to back for me. Rush, Presto Tour. And I remember I went and saw them and I go, fuck, this rules. And I went to my friend. I go, let's go see them again. Who's Rush? I go, dude, you're going to sit there and see people playing drums, like air drums. And then we're sitting there and this guy's passing a joint. My friend Victor goes, oh my God, you're right. They're playing air drums the whole concert. It's like, that's the first time I saw a band back to back nights. The Presto Tour by Rush. Fucking amazing shows. I put them there because, and I got another one that's back to back too. I've only seen 2 bands back to back. Rush was the first one. The second one is kind of above them, but that's amazing tour. I love it.
All right, mine is going to be, oh my God, it's Kiss. But
Of
it's not the
course.
reunion. It's not the reunion tour, actually. And believe it or not, it's off an album I don't
Hot in the
like.
Shade?
Hot in the Shade, dude. What a fucking tour that was, dude. Slaughter opened up for him.
I love Slaughter.
With the Sphinx. Yep.
Yep, that set list was
Best part of
fucking
this
on
DVD.
Fire.
Best
Man,
part
that
of this
set list was
DVD.
on fire. That
Kiss
set list
nerds.
ruled.
Nerds. Okay.
Holy shit, the band, Eric was on fire. Bruce was on fire. Gene, the whole band was just top. It was probably, in my opinion, their best form ever as a band. And I've seen them a lot of times. And I love the reunion tour. The reunion tour probably meant more to me because, I mean, that's when I was a young kid, watching Phantom of the Park and shit like that. I mean,
I've never watched that movie.
Mark, you should get high and watch it. It's hilarious.
I don't
Like
smoke
The
weed
Wall.
anymore. I'll drink
Like
and
The
watch
Wall.
it.
If you watch it straight,
Oh, I watched the Wall.
I've watched the Wall stoned and it
The
still
Weed.
sucked.
I watched the Weed all the time.
You
on
watch the
Wall.
weed.
No, I watched the Wall stoned and it still sucked for me because I don't like Bob
you're gonna be on
Geldof.
acid.
No,
I don't-
Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park is one of the most unintentionally hilarious movies of all
Maybe
time.
I'll drink some whiskey and watch it then.
You gotta be on
I
acid
still
to watch
need
The
to
Wall.
watch the Phantom of the Paradise.
Take a hit of water and
That's a
just
great movie.
Ace and Peter were smart during that movie because they were fucking on drugs and drinking.
Yes.
So they were the 2 smart ones doing that movie. But yeah, holy shit, yeah. Yeah. But that tour was fucking amazing, dude. The Hot in the Shade tour is my number 3. Number 2, Andy.
I wish the album
Yeah.
was hot.
It's gonna be
The
one of
album,
the.
yeah.
It's gonna be one of the Ozfests. ones. I've been to two. Man, I wish I can combine them because they were both great. I'm gonna combine them because both shows had great bands. The first one was in 2000 that I went to, and Pantera played a 2-hour set.
Oh, you
It was
saw
just a
Pantera?
fantastic set.
God, I'm so jealous of you.
That that summer we saw Pantera like 3 or 4 times.
I'm so jealous of you. I've never
Oh,
seen. I seen them
oh,
open
they're
up for
great.
Metallica, but that wasn't Pantera. That was a tribute.
Yeah, yeah. This was great. And they played right before Ozzy, and I guess Ozzy only played an hour set. I guess he must have not been feeling well. Of course, he's getting older, but Pantera played a 2-hour set, and it was just blistering. It was one of those shows where the afternoon turned into night. It was awesome. And then another Ozfest 2000 was when Black Sabbath reunited. And that was great. To see all four of them together. And Velvet Revolver also played that show.
I love Velvet
And so
Revolver. All of
and
both
so
of
did
those
Rob
albums.
Zombie also played that show. One of the first times I saw Mastodon, and Mastodon played the small stage like at 12:30 p.m. And that was pretty cool to see too. Um it was a great show. I love seeing Ozzy when it's a shame that he's going through all these health problems. But
Yeah,
I had to put him
there's
on
a
there a
reason
couple
that
of
the
times.
time that I saw Ozzy did not make my list.
Yeah. Well, he made mine a couple of times. Amazing, amazing frontman when he was well. So that's my number two.
All right. Joe.
All right, so earlier on this list, I talked about the first show that I saw after COVID, but now I'm going to talk about the last show that I saw before COVID,
Oh,
and it is one of the shows that I am most thankful that I've gotten to see, just to be able to see that this particular music played live, and that was Dweezil Zappa on the Hot Rats 50th anniversary tour.
oh, you saw that.
It was phenomenal to see Dweezil Zappa and one of the greatest assembling of musicians ever assembled on stage that would rival some of Zappa's lineups, playing all of Hot Rats from front to back,
Nice.
plus like 20 other songs.
Yeah.
They did a lot of the second half of the show. They did a lot of the stuff from You Are What You Is. They did the Beauty Knows No Pain suite. They did Bamboozled by Love. They did Heavenly Bank Account. They did like all that basically whole side of music from You Are What You Is.
Right. Yeah.
Then they closed out with Carolina Hardcore Ecstasy, Muffin Man, and Tears Began to Fall, which Carolina Hardcore Ecstasy is one of my favorite Zappa songs. They did a smattering of other stuff through. They did Village of the Sun and Enchindas Arf from Roxy and Elsewhere. They just did a whole bunch of stuff. They played for like 3.5 hours. It was fantastic. One of the greatest lineups of musicians I've ever seen. I've made the joke before. It's the only time I've ever seen a saxophone solo get a standing ovation at a concert. Because Sheila Gonzalez is just one of the greatest multi-instrumentalists I've ever seen. She is insane. And she just played one of the greatest saxophone solos I've ever seen. Just such a fun show because you're surrounded by a bunch of Zappa nerds. So like they're all into it. If you're there to see Dweezil Zappa, especially playing Hot Rats, these people are all into it. And they just it was a great time. Me and my best friend went and saw it. It was what got him more into Frank Zappa. So I'm really happy that we got to go see this show. It was at this little theater, just a great time. I'm really hoping to get to see Dweezil again. Unfortunately, with this last tour where he was doing Apostrophe and Roxy, he didn't come anywhere near me. I was so mad.
Same here.
But I really want to see him again. But I'm very grateful that I got to see him at least once, and especially to see Hot Rats perform in its entirety.
Yeah, I was able to see the Zappa Plays Zappa a few years ago, which was amazing. And they've come back here, but something happened where I couldn't go. But the Apostrophe one did not come nowhere near here. And that's a shame. I hope they do something. No, wait. No, that's already passed. All right. Go.
Yeah.
Go
The
ahead.
next one will probably be that they do a 50th for Zoodalores or something like that.
Pseudolures, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking Overnight, but Overnight came out before.
Yeah, that was
And they did that.
73.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
Jerry's falling asleep. Let's keep going.
We're on our number 2, Mark. Settle down.
All right.
Anyway, Tim, what's your number 2?
All right. My number 2,
I'm not falling
19,
asleep.
1982, Glens Falls, New York, Civic Center. Priest, Maiden.
Oh, nice.
Priest was on their Screaming for Vengeance tour, and Maiden was on their Number of the Beast tour.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Phenomenal.
Oh, I bet.
That was one of the first shows I saw. I can't remember if The Clash was first or Maiden was first or Priest, but they were both about the same time frame.
Yeah.
Just a phenomenal show. I mean, loud, very loud. Like,
And
I
they were
couldn't
both
for
at
a
their
week
powers.
loud.
Yeah. Wow. Because both albums were fantastic. They were both invading America.
Mhm.
That whole wave of new. I mean, man, what a time to see both bands.
And Bruce even did a good job on Deano stuff.
He did
I
on
gotta
that
admit,
tour.
he
He
did
on
a
that
really
tour.
good job on Deano stuff.
Yeah, you listen to the Beast Over Hammersmith album. He did some good Deano songs.
Oh, I have
Mhm.
that on vinyl.
But anyway, that's my number 2.
So
Mark?
my turn. Again, another concert at LA Forum. The Black Album. I saw them both dates. Well, I think they had 3 dates there. I saw them 2 dates there. January 1992 is amazing. Metallica switched up the set list both dates. It was fucking cool. They played Stone Cold Crazy one date and they didn't play it the other date. It's like what bands need to do if they play multiple dates, switch up the fucking set list. Metallica did that and they do that now. And it's fucking amazing. And it's like I saw Jason Newsted play drums and fucking Lars Ulrich come play down a bass. It was fucking cool as fuck. One of the best 2 shows I've seen in my lifetime. That Black tour at the LA Forum is fucking amazing. They played 3 dates there. I saw 2 of them. And one of the dates, I worked at In-N-Out Burger, and my my friend Scott Travato worked there, and his brother Danny Travato was there. I had 103 fever, and I went to that date, and Danny goes to In-N-Out Burger at the end of the concert with my manager there and Scott there. He goes, "Hey, I saw Mark E.T. at the Metallica concert when I called in sick." Told my manager there that he saw me at the fucking concert. And my man, when I come in next, like 2 days later, he goes, "I'm only gonna pay you for one of those dates because you went to the show." I go, "Dude, I was there at 103 fever. I wasn't gonna miss because the guy paid for my shows because I drove them there. I wasn't gonna miss that fucking show because I had a fucking fever. I went to that fucking show because I wanted to fucking see it. But I got gypped because of the fucking Danny. I'm still friends with Danny, but he he fucking ratted me out. But when he went to get a burger at the end of the show, those are the amazing best 2 Metallica. Death Magnetic was great. 72 Seasons great too. But those 2 shows I saw on the Black Album was fucking amazing at the LA Forum. Fucking great.
Earth's Jerry. Earth's
Jerry! Wake up, Jerry! Well, Jerry, I don't know, maybe Metal Church? Who's next?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
Yeah. All right, guys. My number 1. So
Jerry, number 1! Oh, go ahead.
Thanks, Mark, for blowing my ears out.
Sorry.
Well, at least he's not snoring.
my number 1 is going to be I've seen this guy several times, but Neil Young, the first time I saw Neil Young. he played an acoustic show by himself with no one else on the stage with him. He went from acoustic guitar to electric guitar, even though it was a solo show, to a pump organ to banjos, and he played about two. It was two sets and then an encore, and it was just everything I always thought that it would be. So my number one is going to be Neil Young.
Who's next? I don't know.
Me. Hi.
Go.
Go for it.
So this is a story I told probably a few times on here, but just one of the coolest experiences I ever had. Back in September of 2021, it was me and it was both my parents and my dad's best friend and his wife went down to this little fire hall in Maryland to see Kix. And it's the only time I saw Kix 10 times, the only time I ever got to see him with my dad. We're going to pause right here. Jerry, what's your number two? We skipped over you because you were asleep.
I called him to wake his ass up.
Where are we at?
What's your number
for you.
two? We've moved on, but what's your number two?
Oh, number two. Return to Paradise, Styx. It was such a cool, back in the days where you had to find out concerts from the newspaper,
Yeah.
I remember being on break and seeing that advertisement, Styx. It says the original Styx. Everybody but John, because John was sick. Holy shit! It was just such phenomenal to see those guys together again. Yeah, awesome. I mean, I saw the Edge of the Century tour, but Tommy wasn't there. That's the first time I'd ever seen Styx, and that was a good show. But man, seeing Tommy, JY, and Dennis together, man, and Chuck when Chuck played full time was awesome. And even though John couldn't be there, they have a great replacement in Todd Suckerman, man. He's been excellent for them ever since. And it was just a dream come true to see that lineup. Because as a kid, as much as I love Styx, that was fucking awesome. And then afterwards they did the Grand Illusion, which I saw that one too, and that was incredible as well. But then Dennis had to do some Notre Dame shit or something, Hunchback of Notre Dame shit or something, and they cut it short. And that was basically all you. I was hoping for a Pieces of Eight one, but that never happened. But anyway, number two was Styx Return to Paradise.
All right, you missed the number one, Jerry. I had to call you to wake your ass up.
My number one is
But Andy's number one.
Andy was on number one.
Andy's number one was Neil Young. I had just started my number one.
I woke up him by calling him.
So, like I had said, it was the only time I ever had gotten to see Kix with my dad, who got me into Kix. So we were at this little fire hall in Maryland. It was the craziest scene because it was like maybe a couple hundred people there, and it was just what you would think like you're going to a bingo at a fire hall, like little old ladies serving chicken tenders and burgers, selling strip tickets, doing a 50-50 raffle. Literally, it was a couple of the wives selling T-shirts on a table for the merch booth, and then all of a sudden, here's Kix, band who just had multi-platinum albums, who is literally 2 years later when I saw their final show sell out in front of 20-some thousand people, and 2 years earlier I saw them at a fire hall in front of a couple hundred people.
Somebody needs to be talking to a tour manager.
Well, no, it was a local gig. It was 20 minutes from where they all live. Yeah, so it was literally they drove there. I saw Steve Whiteman pull in his car. They drove. It was 20 minutes from their hometown. But it was one of the coolest shows I've ever seen. I was 10 feet from the stage, and everybody got COVID afterwards. The whole band got COVID. My dad's best friend got COVID. Nobody in my family got COVID, but it was the whole place got COVID afterwards. But it was one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. It was the first time I ever saw them play Atomic Bombs. That's what they opened up the show with.
Nice.
They played Heartache off the first album. It was the first time other than when I saw them play All of Blow My Fuse, it was the first time I saw them do Red Light, Green Light, TNT. It was an amazing show. Just this really cool environment. They're in front of a hometown crowd. That was the first time I ever saw them do For Shame, which is one of my favorite Kick songs. But they were just
in front of a couple hundred people at this little hometown show that got rescheduled because of COVID. And it was the coolest experience of just sitting there eating a burger and chicken tenders from little old ladies and then going to see, literally walking across the floor, and the little old ladies put their earplugs in when Kix comes out on stage. And then to top it all off, we won the 50-50 raffle.
Nice.
So after Kix stopped playing, they announced the 50-50 raffle, and my family won. So it was a real fun time. But it was such a fun experience to see Kix playing in front of a couple hundred people in this little fire hall, and then 2 years later seeing their final show in front of 20-some thousand people at this giant venue. Like it was just this crazy experience, but by far the coolest show I've ever seen. My favorite experience seeing a show, one of my favorite bands of all time, my hometown band, seeing them in front of a couple hundred people at the fire hall. Not like when they were first starting in 2021, but that was my favorite concert I've ever seen. So Tim, what's your number one?
Oh, my number one is, so I find myself in Hamburg, Germany, and I'm walking past this.
You just happened to find yourself there?
Yeah, I just happen to be there.
In
I'm a
the
time traveler.
Navy.
I'm a time and space traveler. So
He's in the Navy at this time, probably.
So I'm walking past this little fucking brick building, and the name's out in front of it, and it's in German. But I walk past, and they have like posters on the side of the wall of the bands that are playing. And I look, and there's the Boar's Head. And I'm like, Motorhead? Are you fucking kidding me? I said, wow, this has got my attention. So I walked in and talking to the bartender, and the bartender's, he speaks kind of normal English, a little broken, but not terrible. And I was like, Motorhead's playing here? He goes, yeah, tonight. And I'm like, fucking amazed. I'm looking around the place, and I'm like, it seats maybe 400 people tops. And that's tops. And that's if you pay off the fire marshal, And I'm like, oh. He goes, yeah, some band, the Scorpions. And I'm like, what? The Scorpions are playing here? He goes, yeah. And and you got to remember, this is back when, like, Love at First Sting, they're on that tour.
Wow, yeah, that's a big tour.
And Motorhead was on, I forget what tour.
That would have been Another Perfect Day, I think.
No,
or the
was earlier than that.
Well, that's 83.
Yeah.
So 84
could have been on Another Perfect Day. Yeah, sure. Well,
either that or the greatest hits, No Remorse, the greatest hits album would have been 84.
So I'm like, what the fuck? So naturally, I buy a ticket, and I'm talking to the bartender again, and I think the bartender was like the owner's kid or something, because he seemed to know a lot of shit about this. And I was like, so why, who the hell is your booker? I got to talk to this guy. I mean, Jesus. He's playing in these bands in, this place. Come to find out, the owner of the club, when both these bands, the Scorps and Motorhead, first started out, it's like I think it's the whiskey where Mangini owned it, or Mangini, and he helped bands out. That's kind of the same thing. And they come back and repay them if they get a day off at their tour or whatever, and them fucking Motorhead open was stellar, just absolutely stellar. Of course, I love both bands, so. And then the Scorpions just blew the roof off the place. It was just a phenomenal show, and I'm sitting here, literally 2 feet from the stage. And it's just, I felt like that guy for Memorex, in the chair, just getting fucking blown away. And it was like, wow. And I couldn't hear for a month after that show. but it was well worth it. Well worth it. So that's my number one.
All right, Mark.
Mark, my first concert I ever went to, my mom, because I love this band and I love the other band that opened with them. RS Speedwagon, Wheels of Turning, Survivor Vital Signs opened up for them. And it was just an amazing fucking show. I'd never seen a show. Kevin Cronin was amazing. The whole band, Gary Richrath, kicked ass. And there's an unknown song. I think it was Tough Guys, because I remember them doing Spanky, will you swing me before we have lunch? I looked at the set list. I know that song was there. I remember seeing that. I remember seeing them doing that whole spiel where they're like lip syncing that fucking Little Rascal shit. The spiel they did. And it was just so amazing. I remember when a Survivor opened and these girls were giving Jimmy Jamerson flowers, and they go, "Why are they giving him flowers, Mom?" And she goes, "Because he's cute." I go, "Oh, it's like I heard I Can't Hold Back. I heard, all those songs on Vital Signs, heard them sing Eye of the Tiger and stuff like that." It was like, that was the show that made me say, I want to see more fucking shows. I want to see more live music. And I bugged my mom, can we go see this? Can we go see this? Can we go see this? After that show, I was just like bugging her to get me tickets. Get me tickets to see this shit. Because RS Speedwagon and Survivor opening. Amazing show. I think it was 1985. I was like 14 or 15 at that time. It's just like, it lit my fuse to see live shows. Thank you, Ario. Thank you, Survivor. Because without you guys, I wanted to see anything after that. That was amazing. That's my number one concert of all time. LA Forum, by the way. Again.
Jerry.
Number one show, bitch. Jerry! Jerry!
Fuck.
Number one show, bitch. Wake up.
Pink Floyd Pulse, man, from the Division Bell. Very first night, Miami, Joe Robbie Stadium. Dude, I'm telling you, again, another dream come true. Amazing fucking concert. Doing the whole Dark Side of the Moon was just still. I tear up when I remember,
Yeah.
that concert. It was just so fucking good. I mean, say what you will about waterless Pink Floyd. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I fucking love it. I don't blame those guys for continuing. I mean, what the fuck? Because Roger quits, they're supposed to quit. I mean, seriously, that's one thing
I
can't
agree.
fucking. So, and they sounded amazing. The musicians they had backing them up, John Karen. I think his name is Michael Renwick. I think Renwick is the other guitar player. Guy Pratt on bass. An incredible female vocalist, man. It was just a brilliant show, and it's something that one of the shows I'll treasure for the rest of my life still, because that was it from Pink Floyd. And I was surprised. I thought they'd leave a couple more in them, but that was it as far as touring. And I was fortunate enough to see that, and I'm so glad I was able to go to it. Pink Floyd, Pulse, my number one.
What year was that? Like 94?
94, yes. It was the very first concert, the very first stop on the tour. They did a practice gig a couple of nights before, but it wasn't an official concert. I don't know, maybe it was just selected people, but it was opening night.
Yeah.
And it was just fucking brilliant, man. It was a perfect night too. It wasn't, because in South Florida, it's usually hotter than fuck down there. Had a great breeze. We were in the front row on the very top. It was actually, we were right in the front though. We could be able to see everything good. And man, just great fucking concert. You all went to that?
I did go to the Rose Bowl thing, but like I said, I was pissed off because I couldn't get high.
Yeah.
It was a great show, by the way. I did see the pig flying, and it was a great light show at the Rose Bowl. It's just I punched my friend out because he brought me like bad weed.
When I saw them, they had two pigs like going over the top
Yeah,
of the
yeah, it was
stage.
great. It was great, but I was like, I wanted to get so high at a Pink Floyd concert. And I bought the tickets for the fucking Carlos guy, and he gave me shake weed. It was
Oh,
horrible.
that sucks.
Yeah, it did suck.
Anyway,
That's it,
great
man. We're
show.
done. But let's get to what's going on in Black Spinner Circle, Andy.
I don't know.
You don't know. What's going on Three Shots Down, Jerry?
I don't know.
Well, I know what's going on in
I'm just
Freeform.
kidding. We're gonna be doing a show about the PMRC. That's gonna be our next show. Our new show with the great John Prine is out right now. That was a fun time learning about that guy. And that's about it.
Well, Freeform Rock Podcast tomorrow. We are doing Jerry's favorite album, Depeche Mode, Black Celebration.
Boy.
That album, spoiler alert, it's one of my favorite albums of all time. Tim, what are you doing, man?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, next week we are doing Joseph's. What is it, Joseph?
Top 11 greatest hits albums.
So Andy can't be on it because he's going to a show. Tim, do you want to be on that episode?
I'll be on it.
Top 11 greatest hits
Okay.
albums. All right, not box sets, just greatest
No.
hits.
Greatest hits.
Tell them the parameters, Joseph.
Sure, Mark. Thanks. I'll take care from here. So it's top 11 greatest hits albums. It has to be whatever format it was originally released in. So if it was a single album, double album, whatever, it can be a double album, but it has to be the way it was originally released. It can't be
Okay.
like a bundle of like, if there was like a greatest hits 1 and a greatest hits 2 released at separate times, they're separate things. They can't be bundled together.
All right.
It can't be Billy Joel greatest hits 1, 2, and 3.
But it can be Billy Joel greatest hits 1 and 2.
1 and 2, yeah.
It could also be one really good compilation I have that I love. Is Deep Purple Mark 1 and Mark 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, but Andy, you're going to a show next week. You see, you're not
Right.
going to be on here. So we
No,
got
I'm not.
Tim, Joseph, and Jerry next week. All right, guys, man. Jerry, you need to go to sleep, man. You're pulling a
We all
mover
do.
on us.
We all do.
We all do. This
Oh,
is a
dude,
long episode.
I'm struggling.
I am tired as fuck also. And fuck Edmonton Oilers. Fuck you, Edmonton Oilers.
We got a goal.
Always. Peace.
Get the fuck out of here. Later, guys.
Later, guys.
Bye.